Hey everyone, can you hear me now? Hi everyone, how you guys are doing? This is me, Avidivedi, and we are doing this session which is called Metaverse Madness on All India Startups. This is a session where we talk about multiverse and the metaverse and things related to that. So, recently, if you know about the pivot which Facebook took, converting its company name to Meta, so it's going to be conversation around that, and a lot of things are happening in the space of metaverses and everything. So, would love to discuss. Tan is here. Hi, Tan. How are you?
Hey Avi, I'm all good. How about yourself?
Yeah, doing really well. Would love to know what you do and what are your experiences about metaverse and everything.
Absolutely. So essentially, I am primarily a trader, and in addition, I'm a metaverse investor. So this is one thing that gets me up in the morning. So I'm pretty excited and bullish about metaverse because it's like every child's dream, right? The 3D world and the gaming and everything that you have. So this specifically, and even though I have other opinions on both crypto and NFTs. But metaverse is something I'm totally bullish on and invested as well. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I've experienced almost all of the major metaverses and invested in one of them as well. So yeah, that is pretty much it.
That is really amazing, Tan. So, would love to know about your investments into the metaverse. So, what kind of investment you made, and also what kind of relation you had with metaverse when you came to know about it, and how you came to know about it, and what kind of steps we are taking.
Absolutely, Avi. So essentially, and I'm just going to explain it from the perspective that if someone doesn't know anything about metaverse as well, your first starting point is two movies. One is Free Guy on Disney Hotstar, and the other is Ready Player One on Amazon Prime. If you don't know absolutely nothing, go and watch those movies because that'll
Please repeat.
tell you. Sorry,
Please repeat movie's name.
Harshal,
the
yeah.
Yeah, the one movie is Free Guy in Disney Hotstar, and the other movie is Ready Player One on Amazon Prime. So essentially, that is what everyone in Metaverse is trying to create. We're not there yet, but that is the aim that everyone's trying to do, right, within Metaverse. So essentially, coming back to Planet Earth, where we are currently here, and that is something we want to create. Personally, the way I look at it, essentially my starting point is okay, let me check out every metaverse and see how it goes, right? So on off the back of it, you realize that Axie Infinity has a paywall, so you can't even see it for free. You have to pay to even have a look at Axie Infinity, right? That is one that I crossed off automatically because I'm not going to pay to just have a look within a game, right? Then comes Sandbox, then comes Mana, then comes Gala, then comes Illuvium, and lastly comes Upland, right? Those are the major six metaverses in today's day and age, right? Your Sandbox, your Gala, your Mana, your Axie Infinity, your Illuvium, and your Upland, right? So these are the six major metaverses. Now, as you dive deeper and deeper into this, what I realize is okay, first of all, if you need to do anything, you need to have a piece of land, right? So, for instance, the way you need to think of this, and I get this question a lot that why do I need a land, right? What is the purpose of a land? So, think of this, for instance, if you're playing Call of Duty or you're playing Farmville or you're playing Counter Strike or any of these games, right? Because that is the first use case. So, every technology generally has the first use case is either in the gaming industry or the adult industry, right? So let's not talk about the adult industry. We'll only focus on the gaming industry here. And the purpose essentially here is that land that you own. For instance, you own a land in Call of Duty, right? What would you do? The best would be if you open an ammunition shop, right? Or same in Counter Strike, right? But players are coming there to make money, right? So if you open, say, a casino, that will work as well. Very good. If you open a virtual NFTs that can be traded within the game, or objects or structures that can be traded as an NFT. That is another use case within the game, right? So that is one use case. There's many other such use cases. If you're on Farmville, you can sell fertilizers on your land, or you can open a market where farmers can buy and sell their goods, such as the sabzi mandi in the real life that we see. And those are all things that you can build on your land, right? So land is just the basic, literally the core basic of what you buy, and on top of that land, what you build, the limits are endless, right? That is essentially there. So once you have that, you sort of should look at different metaverses. So with the way I started, I was like, okay, let's go and have a look. What is the cheapest land available? And let's look at Sandbox, let's look at Gala, let's look at Mana, let's look at Axie Infinity, Illuvium, and Upland. All of those prices, right? Because that is how one should look at it, right? So I will. What I did is I went on each of these websites, and the first thing you realize, Illuvium isn't even selling land, so it was already out of my um, uh, uh, things that I was looking at, right? Then what you realize is Sandbox is selling, and this data is 2 days old, so don't quote me 100%. You can go and have a look yourself. Go on Sandbox and see how much the land is available for. When I did the conversion, $32,000 was the cheapest land. On Axie Infinity, I found the land for $13,000. On Mana, which is Decentraland, was the most expensive. I saw land for $63,000. On I think the other one was uh, Gala, I think, was around 43-ish thousand dollars. Again, this data is 2 days old, so it might have changed, it might have sold or whatever. And then you look at something like an upland, where the cheapest land is available for $5, right? So these are all the upland that is there. These are all the metaverses. I'm so sorry. These are all the metaverses that are there. Personally, I'm only on Upland, and I just think it's the Apple versus Android debate. I think Upland is going to be the metaverse of the middle class is what I think. I don't think Asia, India, Thailand, China, Vietnam, Philippines, none of us are going to fork out $30,000 for a piece of land. And from that perspective, I this is again my personal opinion. I think that the majority of the public, majority of Asia at least, is going to be on Upland. And I hope I've done justice to your question, Abhi. So
Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks for giving us so many great details about the metaverses. For those who are wondering still what we were talking about, I think Tanmay has already explained this pretty well, but I'm going to give you a little more insight. So to understand it in basic, it's basically metaverse are virtual places in which you purchase land. It is like you purchase cryptocurrencies. These metaverses which Tanmay spoke about are ways to hold your holdings in form of a land. So the very basic thing what you can buy is a land, and then you decorate your land in such a way that you make it very unique. You can build things on top of your land in such a way you try to value your land in more unique ways, so that you can create a very unique land so that you can sell it for higher price and everything. So it's that kind of a format. So what Tanmay was talking about. I'll move to Harsh now. Harsh, would love to know what are your experiences with Metaverse, or if you have any question.
Hello. So I'm working on a startup on NFTs right now. I've minted three NFTs. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep, you have minted three NFTs. Yes,
Yes. So I haven't sold them, but I'm trying to work on upland too. That you
that's
told.
amazing.
That Tan told.
That's really amazing, Harsh. So yeah, so since you already know about NFTs, and I think the way to go in NFT right now is go through some more details over how to build a community around NFTs, and how to sort of it's a community game for sure right now. If I say
Yes.
so,
Yes.
right? So you need to
Yes.
let's say look for what are the good NFTs which you can invest in, because you can also sort of invest in an NFT, and that could even grow. And there is a random kind of a thing which where you mint an NFT and you don't even know that which is going to be, and then you get something, and maybe it could become really unique or valuable one. So that is the game right now going on. It's more over community. So if you can also uh, come up with some sort of community to promote your NFTs, to sell it in a higher price or something, it would be awesome. And let me know whenever you sell your NFTs. Yeah,
Yes, I would like to sell definitely.
that's amazing. And there are there.
Harsh, what kind of NFTs do you make? Since you said that you do interact with Upland as well.
Yes, yes. I made like uh, hello.
Yes, yes,
Yes, you are
Harsh, we
audible.
can hear you.
Yes, they are only PNGs. I can't do 3D imaging. I
They're
work
only
on Canva as well as
they're only
Illustrator.
images, is
Yes,
what you're saying.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. I mean, from Upland itself, if you are able to, so because it is once you buy the land, right? The first use case is buildings. So if you are able to make 3D buildings, I think you're gonna make a lot of money on Upland. And they already opened the developer scheme as well. So if you are a developer who is able to create 3D objects and create like unique buildings, for instance, if you're able to make Burj Khalifa or Empire State Building, right? And you're able to make that in 3D version, or even like the Jeddah Towers in Saudi Arabia, or any iconic tower. If you're able to make that, I think if you do mint that as an NFT, that'll be a very good use case within Upland, because Upland allows you to import external NFTs as well. But again, the use case will depend. If it's a building, instant use case. But let's say if it is a character, then yes, the use case will be there, but it'll take time for that character to come into play, right? So those are a few things. Just wanted to say that if you are able to create a 3D object, you'll see really good value addition to you from Upland. So
Tanmay, so a friend of mine has also started a platform very recently. It's called Party Night, and they have started their metaverse. There is a lot of NFT giveaway going on as well there. So that is something you can also look. And it's India का अपना metaverse party night. So that is really cool. I attended the party at at this Christmas only, and the founder of that particular platform, Rajat Oja, is a very pioneer of XR industry, and he's someone who is in gaming in XR, in virtual reality, for a long time. So he has more than 20 years of experience with all this. So yeah, it's a beautiful platform which we have built.
absolutely, Avi. Would you be able to just let us know of the URL for Party Night?
Yeah, I'll send you the URL after this session. I'm actually on my
Sure.
desktop, so I don't have access to the back channel right now. So I'll send
No
you
problem.
the
No
back
problem.
channel
No
link.
problem. Sure.
The party night link I'll send you in the back channel. So there are a lot of platforms which we are talking about, and a lot of platforms are very visual. A lot of platforms are 3D. So I would like to give a very small introduction of mine. I'm someone who's working into the XR industry. XR is means extended reality. It covers all the terms like augmented reality, virtual reality, cinematic reality, all these sort of things. So I'm somebody who's working in this industry for past 8 years. I have started this community called XRDI. There you can find a lot of good resources to learn and build more familiarity about the community, about the what we do, right? And would love to talk to you guys more about virtual reality and augmented reality and metaverses. So I would like to move to Sudhanshu. Sudhanshu, hi, and how are you doing?
Hi. Yeah, I'm doing good, bro.
Would love to know your experiences about virtual reality and augmented reality or metaverses,
Uh,
whichever you want to
Actually,
take.
I'm a new. I'm a new.
Okay,
Uh,
you are new here. No worries. So have you
Yeah, yeah.
ever visited something related to virtual reality, like even in a shopping mall or anywhere else? Like
No,
not yet. So would love
no,
to
not at all.
there are some good things which you can experience, like Tanmay suggested there's a movie called Ready Player One, so it's available I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
on,
continue.
yeah, and there's one recent movie as well, Free Guy, and there are so many movies which talks about these worlds where we can basically visit and we can do all these sort of things which we do in the real world, but these worlds are created with virtual elements, like you can buy virtual things, you can sell
Uh,
virtual things, these
One
kind of
is
things.
pre and one is other.
Other one is Ready Player One.
Uh, One is a free and another
Another one is
ready player.
Ready Player One. Am I audible enough?
Yeah, I think voice is breaking from my side or from your side. Don't know.
Okay, I just checked. No worries. The other one is Ready Player One. I hope this time it went through.
Okay.
Okay, Sudhanshu, watch those movie and get back. We have these conversations all the time, and I hope you get to learn something about virtual reality or augmented reality or metaverses or NFTs. There are so
Yeah,
many
I
things
have
to
some
talk about.
basic idea about NFTs and all that. Like from social media, I'm just getting through it.
That's
Like what is
amazing.
NFT and what's yeah, what metaverse and which your line is talking about. Like we can buy that virtual land out there.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
have
That's amazing.
some roughly idea
So,
about that. So
have you heard
yeah,
about the Facebook transition into metaverses? They are completely pivoting
yeah, yeah,
towards Meta,
yeah.
right? So this is what something
Mhm,
really
yeah, right.
significant, especially as you are working in as a system engineer. This is something which is really significant and which is really everybody have to look towards, because that is the change which is happening in the social format of communication right now.
Yeah, so basically you are building some like NFT or basically some startup or what in that.
Yeah, so I have a service company. We do services. We have established this service company back in 2015, and now I'm also running a community around this. Since 2019, we are running this community called XRDI, where we try to educate people about virtual reality and augmented reality. We have done like more than 35 sessions in all over India about VR and AR, and some in Dubai, some in IITs. So plenty of sessions we did about educating people about AR, VR, and giving them basic workshops and everything to get started. If you really want to get into this, there's a free session available in the playlist of the link I have added on top of it, which is a 7-day free course which is available, where you can learn a lot of things about AR, VR, and yeah, Instagram filters.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
and we are also building an open source metaverse, so that is another thing which we are doing. So that is also keep getting updated on the XRDI itself. So I'll move to other people. There are so many people patiently waiting here. So I'll move to one second. I'm not being able to read the name here. Yeah, sorry, Dr. Karishma. I would love to talk to you.
Yeah, hi, Avi. Thank you for having me.
Hi,
Um,
Karishma. So,
hi.
what do you think about metaverses, or do you have any knowledge about virtual reality, augmented reality?
No, I think my knowledge at the most would be me watching this show at one of the places in Mumbai, which was a 4D show, and I really enjoyed it. I
Hmm.
have seen a couple of them in the malls, but otherwise, I've been hearing this word a lot, and I was quite curious to know
Hmm.
what it is. And I'm pretty shocked to know it's also investable. So, in fact, I mean, I'm all ears to like know more about it. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, so virtual reality and augmented reality is there, and even in right now, we are using it in various ways, whether we know about it or not. Whether you watch a news channel, there are some sort of VFX and augmented reality elements there. Whether you use Instagram filters, they are heavily using virtual reality and augmented reality elements, especially. So, I have worked as a medical images. Yeah, am I audible or is it breaking?
Yeah, yeah, audible.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
continue.
Yeah. So I have worked as a medical imaging scientist on a couple of projects which deals with how we scan the patients in MRI and CT and convert their sort of body into this virtual reality, so the doctor can basically pre-visualize the patient surgery and sort of pre-plan the surgery before going to an actual patient. So that kind of work we have done with VR. Yeah.
And that's good. Are we any applications in dentistry? I would love
Yeah,
to
I
know.
was going to come to that. So I have worked on one project which was especially in dentistry. So we used to sort of take this scans, which were mandibular reconstruction. We used to sort of what we used to do is if there is jaw is relocated. So in that case, the doctors used to basically our AI algorithm used to predict in what ways we can sort of fix it. So all the angles of that jaw reconstructions need to be calculated within VR. So it was giving you the STL formats were overlaid on top of the current scans, and the prediction that how the jaw could reconstruct all the angles and all the suggestive measurements were being able to do. I forget the name of the software which does this, but we have built something similar in virtual reality. It was, I think the name was related to whale or something, the software name.
Oh, that's really interesting. I love to explore more if there's something in smile design as well, because I get a lot of requests for that.
I'll
Right now, the software
share.
is only 2D.
Yeah, I'll share you some details. There are, I've worked in a company called Immersive Touch where we used to build these kind of softwares, which operates in 3D and VR. So I'll share you the detail of the company. They have some really good options for that. Yeah. So I'll move to Saurabh now. Hi Saurabh.
Yeah, hi Avi, how are you?
I'm doing really good. Would love to listen to you and would love to know more about your understanding of virtual reality or metaverses.
Yeah, I'm like others. I am also very basic knowledge about this domain. However, I would love to attend that 7 day course and would like to know more about the new technology and what is about and how can what since this is a future. So would like to learn about it and see if I can be of it can be of any use to me.
Yeah,
If you
Saurabh.
can send
So
me that link, it will be great. I will join.
yeah, I have pinned the link on top. So this is the
Avi,
link
I
of,
have one question.
yeah, please, Sudhanshu. I can
Yeah, like
I
as you
can
have said, you have made one metaverse in metaverse, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's basically owned by you. So at any point of a time, you can manipulate that, correct?
Yes, technically yes.
So basically, what is security in that? Like if
I'll come to
how
your
someone can
question.
invest here.
Yeah, I'll come to your question. First, let me answer the Gopi's question, right?
Okay, okay.
Saurabh's question. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi,
Avi,
Saurabh.
I just click on the link which is there on the top, but it is showing me, it is taking me to the YouTube.
Yeah, it's a YouTube channel, and on the course, the 7 day course I'm talking about, it's available in the playlist. If you go in the playlist, there are plenty of things, but there will be a playlist called the Masterclass by Avidivedi. There I talk about that complete thing. So it's a 7 hour something course. It complete that in 7 day format, and it will give you a really good understanding about virtual reality and augmented reality to get started with this, right? It's available in the YouTube channel only.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Thanks. I will just
Go in the playlist
thank you.
section and you'll be able to find really good stuff. There are plenty of good sessions, the beginner level as well as the advanced level. So yeah, you'll be able to find it. Yeah. So I'll come back to Sudhanshu's question about metaverses. So Sudhanshu, right now, what your question is about how I can, if I own a metaverse, I can most probably manipulate all the parameter and all the perspectives of it. So how secure metaverses are, right? This is the question. Okay, I'll start.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll start answering. So it's basically yes. So let me
yeah,
first
go forward.
give
This is the
you,
question.
yeah, let me first give you a basic definition, a more clearer definition of metaverses here. So think of metaverse as a messaging service right now. So there are right now a lot of ways to communicate to each other in 2D format, right? So whether you talk about all kind of messengers like Facebook Messenger, or even right now we are talking through the Clubhouse. Clubhouse has back channel. It has a different kind of messenger. Then there is WhatsApp, but there's a difference between all these kind of messengers, that they all have certain kind of theme. There are certain kind of people which roam around in these messengers. For example, if you have to talk to a business person or something, you have to go to the LinkedIn messenger. There are all the people who are related to business, all the people who are related to career and everything are available. So for different kind of need, you go to different kind of messengers, like WhatsApp is for family and friends. So similarly, like, so think of these metaverses as a messenger but in 3D. It sort of connects you in this world which is virtual, and you can basically communicate to a friend or communicate to a stranger even based on what theme of this metaverse is. And that's all what you can do. And when it comes to security and privacy, it follows all kind of laws which again, which comes under the traditional way of messengers. So it's nothing very different from that. So the kind of privacy you get in any other messenger like LinkedIn, the similar kind of privacy can be done in here as well. However, there's something called DAO. In the DAO, basically what happen is in basically what happens is all the communication is getting decentralized. So who gonna own the communities and who gonna run these communities which actually run this entire system? So DAO, basically, I'm sort of confusing it for you, but to complete the talk, I'm adding DAO, right? So see, these DAOs are basically decentralized organizations, which means the authority of how well the organization should run does not remain to one single person, but it distributed among multiple contributor of this DAO. So that is all another way which towards which the metaverses are going towards, because the decentralization of power is leads to piracy issues and a lot of issues which could be harmful. So yeah, so that is sort of a short answer to your question.
Yeah, got it, got it. Thanks.
And yes, if I own the metaverse, I can sort of manipulate the information in all possible ways according to law. But if I under the law, whatever the freedom law give me, I can manipulate all these kind of things. But again, that if I don't maintain the privacy and the ethics of the metaverse, then eventually people will not land on this, right? So it doesn't make any sense to do that. So I'll move to Vijay. Hi Vijay, how are you?
Hi, Avi. I'm good.
Would love to know more about you and your interest into
Uh,
metaverses, into NFTs.
okay. I am been exploring NFT and Metaverse for past 8 to 6 months. I am using Decentraland for exploring Metaverse. So basically, in Decentraland, there are many use cases and as well as games where you can earn NFTs. One example is Wonder Mine. I mined nearly 3 to 4 NFTs there. Also, recently I came across a very unique project named Meta Hero. This project allows you to scan yourself and take your avatar to Decentraland or Metaverse. So they actually set up a 3D scanner using 26 or 30 cameras. I don't know the exact number. So what you can do is you can scan yourself or any object you wish to, and they will convert those objects to NFTs, and you can use those NFTs in Metaverse. So this is what I have to say. The project name is Meta Hero.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard about Meta Hero. So that is really amazing. You mentioned Meta Hero, and you can visualize your NFTs inside these metaverses. This is really amazing, and thanks for sharing the details. If you have any other questions, and I would also like you to visit the party night. There's something called party night, and that is Indian metaverse created by Rajat Oja. He has a company
Okay.
called Gametronics, and they have created this metaverse very recently. Just this Christmas,
Okay.
they had
Okay.
their
Do you have
first party.
any URL or a Discord channel for that?
Yeah, they have. I'll back channel you. Just send me a hi. I'll send you there only.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Awesome. So next, I'll move to Mr. Gopi Shankar. Hi, Gopi. Would love to talk to you about.
Yeah, hi Avi. Really nice talk. Uh, I have experience of virtual reality. I have played games in virtual reality. But metaverse, my knowledge about metaverse is only limited to the Facebook's that video that Facebook shared on their keynote. So I would want to know. What made me interested about this whole talk and to come up as a speaker is what you shared about the open metaverse that you are creating. So I would like to know what is this open source metaverse? Is it a 3D world, or what exactly is it, or what is it that you are building? And if it is open source, then how can someone contribute to it? So basically, two questions.
Yeah, so we have this community and we have more than 72 contributors right now on this. So how our metaverse is being built is it's being built as an experiment sort of, and since we have this YouTube channel, so we are doing it as in format of educational videos, right? So building one part at a time and then completing the metaverse itself. So we have started building it. It could take 1 to 2 months more, and I'm not getting time of a lot of time to be able to complete this right now. But the community is working on smaller parts of it right now. So the if you are already familiar of virtual reality, if you have already played some of the games in virtual reality, the metaverses are basically the social aspect of it. How you interact to people inside virtual reality, how you communicate to people and to whom you want to interact, right? So all this kind of matchmaking and all this kind of scenario that has to be dealt with. So you require some sort of networking engine, you require some sort of avatar engine. Avatars are really important because you represent yourself in metaverses in form of avatars. So that's what we are doing. We are taking an avatar engine, then we are taking a networking engine, then we are building this virtual worlds, then building a lot of models. That's what basically the idea is, to create a space where everybody could sort of walk in. We still have not decided a theme. However, we are talking about what theme we could take. I have discussed all these themes in the earlier videos of the metaverse. So yeah, there are plenty of good things, and if you want to contribute to that, you can sort of join our Discord channel, and there is also a WhatsApp channel link as well available on the YouTube about section. So there you can contribute. Just ping me, and I'll connect you with the team which is working on this.
Yeah, so I'm already in the Discord channel, XRDI Discord channel. But the thing is, I'm into more into the game development aspect. But this meta is kind of I'm just exploring it for now. So if someone has to start exploring it, so what would you suggest the starting, the very beginning for someone
Yeah, the
with a game
beginner
development
the
experience?
beginner
Yeah.
course I have suggested earlier as well. There is a 7-day program I did in collaboration with iNurture. There's a company called iNurture.
Uh-huh.
With them, I did a
Okay.
7-day program. I definitely recommend that for you to getting started. I talked about AR, VR, and
Okay,
also
got it.
Instagram filters. So that is good enough to get you started. But we are also coming up with our training programs as well. There we're gonna talk about a few things. There are six training programs which we have targeted, which are coming. The training program starts with the metaverse, where we're gonna talk about how you can build a functioning metaverse and everything. It's going to be a training program which is coming. And in this training program, we also destroy the entry barrier, which is a virtual reality headset. So we provide the VR headset within this training program. And also the second kind of training program which is coming is in computer vision. Third is in VFX. Fourth is in virtual production. The fifth one is in 3D design, 3D design and art aspect. And the sixth one is in motion graphics. So there are six training programs which are coming on the XRDI platform. We have recently built the job portal, which is India's first and world's third XR specific job portal, where you can find the candidate and find the jobs related to XR, AR, VR only. So it was sort of a natural progression for us to build this platform so that we can train people and immediately give them jobs through this platform. So this is what we are working on right now.
Okay, makes sense. One more question about this party night that you're talking about. Does it not require the headset to experience that? It's metaverse, right? So does it not require the headset? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Now can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you. So the party night that you're talking about, right? You just talked about the Rajat Oja's
Yes.
that metaverse. So does it not require headset to experience
No,
it?
it does not require. So this is the beautiful thing about metaverses. Not
Okay.
all metaverses gonna require you to have this headset. In fact, the metaverses Tanmay also talked about, like Sandbox and everything. They don't require you to wear a virtual reality headset. However, it is pleasant to have those, but yeah, it does not require. Even in Decentraland, you don't require. So a lot of metaverses, even what we are building as well, not going to require this VR headsets initially.
Okay, so
Also,
the experience will be same.
if
Yeah,
I
go
can
ahead,
add
Tanmay.
to this, sorry, if I can add to this, I will say one thing: you need to understand the difference between 3D and immersive 3D, right? So immersive 3D is something for which you will yes need VR headsets, or I don't know if technology advances something else, but for now, for immersive 3D you will need headsets, but you do need to understand we are at the literally the starting point of metaverse, right? So if you are expecting what Ready Player One is showing you will be available within the next 1 year, that is a very wrong concept, because we haven't built that yet, right? We are in the early stages, we are still building that. So over time, yes, for all the metaverses you will need VR headsets, but because we are so early on, right now we're at the stage of 3D, and then 3D will turn into immersive 3D, right? But we're already so early on that we are at the 3D stage. And long term, I personally speaking, I don't even think that you will need VR headsets for immersive 3D, because look, already we are staring at screens all day. My eyesight has gone down the drain, and I'm sure everyone will agree to this, right? Anyone who works with computers, all of our eyesights have gone down the drain. Now imagine you have a VR headset strapped in front of your eyes, almost near to your eyes. Think about the consequences for your eyesight, right? So long term, I think the industry will figure out another way. Maybe it'll be through holograms or whatever. But I think long term, even for immersive 3D, I sort of think that there will be some solution in which you will not need VR headsets even for immersive 3D. But yes, what you're saying, if you want to experience immersive 3D, you do need headsets. But most of the platforms are not even at the level of immersive 3D. So they're only either 2D going towards 3D like Upland, or they are going to 3D. So
Yeah, there
That
are
gives a lot
couple
of
of
clarity,
platforms
Tanmay.
which
Thanks. Yeah.
support immersive 3D actually. And immersive 3D is there for a lot of time, and it is really amazing. So I would recommend you to check out. There's something called Allspace VR, which has recently got acquired by Microsoft. Then there is something called Rec Room, which you must check. And then Facebook is building its own called Horizon, which is available in beta if you are in US and Canada. You can check that. I have developer access, but I don't think it's available in India. These are few, and then there are some really good ones you can check within VR as well. So right now VR is more a lot of platforms, even these does not used to support non VR, but now they have started supporting non VR. So it's going sort of vice versa for this one.
Got it. Thanks. Thanks, Tanvit, and thanks, Avi.
Hello, would love to talk to Mr. Ranganathan and would love to listen to his experiences about virtual reality and augmented reality or metaverses.
I have a question
Yeah, please. Hi, Jenny. Yeah.
for somebody who might
Sure,
answer.
go for it, Jenny.
Um, I trained as a communication designer, but I've been working as a visual artist. I've already minted a lot on free platforms and all that. I'm familiar with what metaverse is, and I know about AR and VR. I know what they can do. But my question is like, if I want to offer some brands, some services in AR, so what software do I need to learn?
Yeah, so if you want to build your own AR applications, I would like you to, for example, check for these platforms which are Spark AR, which allows you to build for Facebook and Instagram Reels and Facebook and Instagram filters. So if you come up with certain idea to promote a brand, you can do it with that. Another way to do it is basically creating your own application. However, yeah, this is also a very good idea to create your own applications for certain kind of promotions. For example, you can use the AR kit for iOS and AR core for Android phones to be able to run a good amount of augmented reality on them. And then there are other platforms as well which allows you to do it. There are plenty of new platforms coming like Earthwall, which allows you to have very stable WebXR, which means you don't even need to install any application on top of it. You just be able to do whatever you want to do, and on top of augmented reality within web, which will run on web, so that you just share one link or one QR code, and they will be able to experience.
Okay, so suppose I want to do AR in my art exhibition, say. So what software can I use for that to create that app? I mean, I don't know how to code, so
I'm
it
sorry.
it will
Can you
have
just
to.
repeat that? I sort of
Yeah.
missed you in
So
between.
yeah. So if I'm having an art exhibition and I want to use AR, make AR enabled artworks, like I know there is an app for artists, but the only problem is we can't expect every viewer to download an app before they come into the
Yeah.
exhibition and things
Yeah.
like that.
Then I would recommend you Earthwall, and there are also ways to do it with ARJS, but they are sort of technical options. So you may require a developer's help or something to be able to execute them on Earthwall or ARJS. Start with Earthwall, and I hope you find the price reasonable and everything, right?
But what about Unity and all that stuff?
Yeah, Unity and everything is there, but that is even more technical. So you do require developers help to be able to create it using Unity. On Unity there is an option which is there are multiple options on Unity, starting from Euphoria to AR core, which I mentioned about. Yeah, so there are plenty of ways to do it on Unity as well, but you
Okay,
require
so
technical help.
suppose then AR core is easy then without code and all that.
Without code, I think there are very less options to which can allow you to do it without code.
Oh, okay, okay. Then Spark AR, I suppose Spark AR
Yeah,
would work.
Spark
But
AR
then
is
that,
good, and Spark AR is also
but
built for Facebook and everything. So whatever you want to show, it's already available on Facebook, so you can also reach larger audiences if you promote it and everything.
yeah, so that means if I use Spark AR, say, and everybody has Facebook,
And
so
Spark
they
AR
don't
does
need
not even use
to.
code, so that is also one advantage. You can build it with very small learning.
Yeah, so that would be great. So then suppose they bring their phones, and then they can place the phone in front of an artwork and see it in AR with Spark AR. Is that possible?
Yes, it is possible. Yes.
Okay, great. Then I'll start with learning Spark AR itself. So at least I can make art out of it, and I can also offer services to brands to create some sort of communication for their Instagram and Facebook pages,
Yeah,
content
that
basically.
is amazing. That is something what you can do.
All right, that's my question. Thank you.
Since we are in AIS, I just thought of an alternative. Since we are those people who love for startup ideas, this is a great startup idea. If someone has the technical know-how of AR, if they could do it for people such as myself as well, and Jenny, who are not from the tech background and can simplify that, that's a great startup idea as well, by the way.
Yeah, that is my idea. I'm planning to
Yeah,
do that because
and
I already create content.
many of companies are building this filter. So we recently also have built a filter for a movie, and then there are plenty of things which you can. So it's usually used for promotional purposes, but there's even a really good time to do it.
But what about like foundation, the NFT platform foundation? They also they have AR NFTs. So what software is used to make those NFTs then?
I'm not really sure about the foundation one.
Okay, because those are not on Facebook and all, so we
Yeah,
can't
those are
use
not on
those.
Facebook. For Facebook, you have to go with Spark AR. That is the only way. That's their product.
Yeah, but suppose you're not like suppose I want to create an AR NFT and put it on.
Jenny, is your voice is got stuck? Am I
No,
audible?
my question is, yeah, my question is that if I need to, if I want to make an AR NFT and upload it on Foundation app, what software do I need to do that?
I have really less idea about Foundation app. Tanmay, do you have any idea?
Nope, unfortunately, no idea here as well.
Yeah,
So.
I am not much aware of it, but there are plenty of ways to sort of do it. If you, let's say, even upload a blank NFT or something, or even something on OpenSea or something, you can track that NFT and do augmented reality stuff on top of it, like animating it or something.
No, so I'm a visual artist. I make JPEG images, and I want to do AR on top of that. That's what I want to do for the NFT. I mean.
Yeah, yeah, it is totally possible. I'm not sure the foundation tool does it or not. In built, they have some embedded option to do it or not for AR. I've never
No, they
tested it.
don't have. They don't have anything. That's why I'm wondering.
Yeah, so
They are
externally, yeah, of course, it can be done. Externally, it can be done. Externally, there are plenty of ways to do
they
it.
no, so they are a platform. So I have to upload my NFT over there, but I don't understand because they said they are doing 3D NFTs. So there's some sort of file that's needed, right?
Yeah, so for 3D NFT to be able to run on a platform, it's simply like if you have .glb or if you have .fbx, a lot of platforms are rendering it on web. So that is fine.
So what's the file format for AR then?
On iOS, the file format for AR is .usdz, and for Android, it is .glb or .gltf. These two formats are pretty compatible on AR.
I didn't hear the formats. Could you repeat them?
Yeah, .glb or .gltf on Android, and
Okay, and on for web?
for iOS, GLB will work on web as well, and for iOS, it is .usdz.
Okay, so I guess I'll have to use the web one, GLB.
.glb, yes.
Yes, all right, thank you.
Thank you. I can see
Question,
Alok is
question,
here.
Avi.
Yeah. Please, Ragnar.
I have a physical art. Yeah, I want to know if you have anyone who can digitalize in India, convert the physical to digital.
Yeah, so I can do it. Where you are in India, by the way, because it has to be converted in 3D only.
Yeah, I'm in India. I'm from Bangalore.
You are from Bangalore, right? Yeah, so there are ways to do it. It requires a scanning procedure. So there are plenty of ways to do it. One is, of course, with the LiDAR camera. You can use LiDAR camera and sort of take the images from all the direction, and it will create a 3D version of that. Another way to do it is there are plenty of softwares which allows you to do photogrammetry. So you'll be able to take photos from all the direction, and that will be able to triangulate it into a 3D object. So what exactly is this object which you want to cover, and how big it is?
It's a painting, it's a A0 size. And I also have a 10 by 10 feet painting.
Yeah, painting
So
must be easier. Painting must be
I'm
easier.
looking for somebody who can help me out in this scanning in Bangalore or nearby.
Yeah, painting must be easier. I'll speak to somebody in Bangalore. They can probably help you. Just DM me with this, and I'll connect you with somebody in Bangalore who can scan this. So there are specific LiDAR scanners as well, which comes. I'm not sure if my friend has that in Bangalore or not, but we have one in Pune.
Are you based in Pune, Avi?
No. I am right now in Kolkata, but I'm aware of a lot of entrepreneurs which are into XR industry because I do a podcast and everything. So I'm aware of who is doing what where. So I'll confirm with somebody in Bangalore who can do it.
All right, thank you. Useful.
Thank you, Rangnath. I can see Alok ji here. Hello, Alok. Would love to talk
Hi,
to you about virtual reality, augmented reality, or metaverses. If you have any
hi,
questions.
Avi.
Yep.
Yeah, no questions. Just keeping a track of this industry, trying to understand what is happening. So, like how it will turn out. So, yeah, no questions currently.
That's amazing. That's amazing. If you want to share some experiences about it, would love to listen to you.
No, I've been keeping track of how things are. Don't have any much experience as such. Things are moving so fast. I know by the time you experience certain things, and then something new come out. So things are changing so fast. It's not really easy to keep track of things also.
Of course. So
But yeah, excited for the future.
thank you, Alok ji. Thanks for connecting. I can see John here. Hi, John. How are you? How's your day going?
Yeah, we going good. Nothing much, but just listening and catching up with what you guys are talking
Yeah,
about.
John. So would you like to add something on this?
Yeah, I've been just trying out workspaces and all that stuff in Oculus. The one you mentioned, Horizon, it was like pretty good.
Yeah.
And there were like random people there. Tried out Rec Room. So I think Rec Room, I tried out the mobile version as well as the VR version. But yeah, the mobile version, they have done a pretty good experience in terms of like walking the users through the process and stuff. And then you could play like paintball games and stuff like that. Yeah, I think a lot of good uh, implementation both on the VR and mobile has been going well. It's just I think the adoption and retention is a problem, but because right now it's still a bit of a nice to have product rather than the must have.
Yeah.
But I think like the infrastructure is being built, and I think as the consumer behavior kind of start adapting to it, people that the products are like already maturing to that stage. So a positive growth in that space.
So very recently, Rec Room has got the evaluation of $3.5 billion. So they have raised, I guess, 145 million on the evaluation of 3.5 billion very recently, and yeah, it is huge. Uh, so Rec Room is there, and then there is one more company, Ready Player Me, which also raised $160 million very recently, just yesterday, I guess. So yeah, these two tools are very good, and I love Rec Room, and the reason is the way you sort of program things inside Rec Room is very amazing. I love how you can program your own tools and you can create sort of anything using fundamentals of programming inside Rec Room. There are very visual way of coding inside that tool.
Oh, I didn't know about we can customize and code. How do I get access to that?
Yeah, so check. It's called circuits or something, but you get some sort of circuits. You can sort of connect nodes to something, and it gives you the immediate effect. I did that back in 2019 last time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I built that stage where I do the podcast, so I host my podcast from Rec Room only, and
Mm-hmm.
that is a very beautiful thing because you can build a lot of tools there. So let's say you can build gates, when to open, when to close, these kind of things. Whatever things you see in the Rec Room are built using those tools only, which they have provided.
Mm.
So there are ways to do it. There is a YouTube channel, there could be many, which talks about them. I forget the exact name, which sort of does this kind of thing, where they teach you how to use those circuitry to be able to sort of do new things. But it is very, very, very good, and especially for kids, they're gonna learn so much thing about programming in visual ways using this.
Yeah, interesting. Because I'm trying to create a workspace and I've been doing modeling in Blender. So I was looking for some kind of infrastructure where I could like upload this model and then do the what do you call the interactivity. I had learned Unity, but it's quite complex. But I think Rec Room has its infrastructure, so it might be much easier.
Yeah, there
Uh,
is just
yeah.
one thing wrong about Rec Room. They don't allow
Uh-huh.
you to have your own branding. You cannot upload images on top of it.
Mhm.
So that is the
I
one
see.
limitation, and that is a very bad one because I wanted my own branding in the room, but it was not possible. So I have to sort of remesh it inside Rec Room only.
I see. Yeah, Altspace VR, I had researched that it lets you do that. Uh,
Yeah,
but
in Allspace VR you can bring your own images.
yeah, I was like looking for. So, what do you recommend? Altspace VR or Rec Room, or I think Horizon also is kind of moving into the direction where it lets people build their own spaces and stuff,
Allspace
like a
VR is
co.
good for hosting large meetings for groups and everything. So that is a very good tool.
What if I want to like upload my own building or a workspace, like the one we modeled?
I don't think Allspace VR support it now. You cannot upload
Okay.
your own model now.
Gotcha. Yeah, it had some Unity integration to do that, but I think it needs the developer access. But yeah,
In
I'll
VR
look
chat
into it.
you can do it. In VR chat you can sort of create entire room and build it. In Allspace VR, yes, I think yes, you can build with integration of Unity. You can do it. I think yes. I have never
Gotcha.
did it, but I think that because I have visited a few rooms and it gives me the notification that these are custom build rooms and the performance could be variant.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
So custom rooms must be there. You can import your buildings and everything, but maybe with Unity's help or something, because that deploys the final version instead of uploading one single FBX or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, at Facebook in their that metaverse launch video, they were going into that direction, right? Where they're talking about like co-working spaces in the digital their VR experiences, and they let like people customize stuff and put their branding and stuff. I think like
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a good uh, monetization strategy for them to like they'll let you use the space, build stuff, but if they want to brand it and highly customized, that's where they start monetizing. I think like that's a similar kind of a model WeWork also started exploring, where they let brands to do their branding in the spaces for additional prices and stuff. So it's a interesting transition.
That is truly, I truly agree. It is a very good transition, and would love to move to Sai here. Sai Srikar is available here, and would love to listen to him, his experiences about virtual reality and augmented reality, if he has any, or if he have any questions or anything.
Hey Avi, thanks for bringing me up. Pretty new to this metaverse space and virtual reality space. I'm like just been listening, trying to understand, trying to like grab some details here. I think I was researching on Rec Room, I don't have much visibility into virtual reality stuff, but I'm more into the photography side of things and understanding the crypto side and the NFT side. So just love to be a listener here, and if you can like elaborate on what XRDI is, like the link up there, that would be helpful as well.
Yeah. So yes, so XRDI is a community we started back in 2019. We work on the democratization and the knowledge part of the virtual reality and augmented reality. I have trained more than 10,000 people from IITs, from IIMs, from all sort of communities like IEEE and everybody. So yeah, there are plenty of things we have did. We have recently built our own job portal, which is India's first and world's third XR specific job portal, where you can because with traditional job portals it is hard to find the right kind of animator or things like photogrammetry artists. It is really hard to find, but here all the keyword supports and everything, so it makes easier for people to create their own portfolios inside VR and AR, and all kind of XR possibilities. So, and we are also doing a lot of things in this domain, so that is what XRDI is.
I see. That's pretty interesting. Where can I check out more information? I think you linked up the YouTube channel here. I think I'll
Yeah,
take a
on
look.
the YouTube channel itself, everything is there. The website is there. Then there is the WhatsApp and Discord community links and everything. So all the information is there only.
I see. That's interesting. I'll do take a look. Virtual reality is something that I need to little expand my knowledge base on,
Yeah, so
and
I did a session. It's a 7-day session which is available free on the YouTube channel itself. In the playlist section, you'll be able to find a masterclass session which talks about VR, AR, and virtual reality, augmented reality, and filters in a very great details. And it's very good to get you started with this domain.
sure, definitely. One more thing is it complete? The base is complete in India, or like where are you guys based out of? Where is
Yeah,
this
we
company based out
started
of?
this in India only. The full form was Extended Reality Developers of India, XRDI. Now we are sort of changing it to XRDI, keeping the same short name, but we are converting India to initiative. And the reason is we are sort of going to target a lot of people. So right now we have a community running in Germany as well and in Africa as well. We did several sessions there as well. Soft, very small number of people are in Dubai. So we did couple of sessions in Dubai as well. But yeah, so sort of working on that.
Very interesting. I think I'm happy to know more details on this part, but I'll do my research in the back end, like on the YouTube site, and if I have any questions, I'll come back. I think
Definitely.
I'm pretty excited.
I can see you are into cloud networking, especially in AWS and everything. So would love to listen to you that because Metaverse is all about network communication and everything, real time communication. So what do you think the future of this 3D immersive format of social networking? What is your opinion on that? This?
I think looking at it from the networking perspective, I think I'm more into the network engineering side, and I'm like just entered the cloud computing side of it. But more on the metaverse side, I think like the 5G related activities are kind of going intensely at the moment. Like the metaverse platform itself is like data. It needs faster speeds and all that, right? So I think the the 5G networking or like the telecom side, like I think there's a lot of scope. But on the cloud side, I think on the AI perspective, I think that's an interesting area to look at, especially with AWS and all. So I'm not an expert in it, but now that you ask, I think I'm gonna go back and like take a look at it a little bit to get some perspective there. I'm more on the curiosity side. I think uh, not
Yeah.
don't have much to say about like metaverse and the alignment with the cloud part, but I'm still researching on that part. My company, like the employer that I work with, they're looking to the things, and they've been discussing on how to like get implement better infrastructure on the metaverse side. So I think I might have more insights next time probably.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I guess even Amazon has a service which provides a lot of real-time communication. We use it. Then there is Google has this PlayFab. Then Microsoft has this Azure platform which we use for a lot of communication and networking. So these are pretty interesting platforms. Provide us the 90% of things, and we don't have to build our own the way we used to do back in 2015 using sockets and everything. So it's sort of heavily improved. And why the future of networking, if I think, as you already spoke about 5G and everything, so with that we'll be able to enable cloud render, and when the cloud render will be able to available, then we can reduce the size of the headset, and then we can easily reduce the very the battery size, the weight and everything, and it will be become very natural glasses with very power capability on board. So right now that is a big huge issue.
Oh, that's an interesting area. I think you're very right on that part. Like once it's cloud enabled, one more thing you'll have to see is like the data speeds. I think if the VRs are 5G enabled, I think that will be another area. So I think very good area to look at. So I think you gave me good enough food for thought. Like while I'm free here.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Please do look into it, and would love to talk to you in next Metaverse Madness session, which I do like sometimes in a week one time, or maybe in a 2 week one time. I do this session. So come to us, and we'll talk more about this.
Sure, definitely. Loving this already, so we'll definitely catch up.
Yeah, sure. So we have here Sandeep ji as well. Hi Sandeep, how are you? Sandeep Sharma ji.
Hi, Avi. Thank you for pulling me in. I have a childlike curiosity right now about this metaverse. So I have a question. Where do we see, like, I definitely see immersive experience. People are definitely looking for it, specifically in ed space. People want to see if they can inculcate the idea of immersive learning. So I see lots is happening there in that space in terms of scope wise. But I wanted to understand what are all the possibilities in healthcare space. If you can, highlight some of the usage and something that can be capitalized on from medical practitioners.
Yeah, so I have a great amount of experience in the healthcare XR. So I used to work in a company called Immersive Touch. I'll add the link on top of this for people to visit that. So there we were sort of building these virtual reality scenarios, and we were basically dealing with three kind of simulation. One was related to the diagnostics, where you sort of pre-visualize all the kind of or sort of visualize better where the problems is within a healthcare scan, because in a CT scan you are looking at one slice at a time, but when we render it in 3D and interactive 3D, which means you can at the real time you can scale it, you can sort of measure it and diagnose it in all possible ways. So in diagnostic side, we had one product related to anatomy viewing in and then meta anatomy viewing, which was like you can sort of upload your personal anatomy which is related to your personal patient, and then you can visualize it better. Then there was this in the training segment we had a lot of tools. So a lot of surgeries like ventriculostomy, a lot of surgeries uh, uh, like these were there, and you can sort of perform these surgeries, and like rhizotomy, ventriculostomy, and we did like hundreds of surgeries were simulated in these environments. And the third use case was pre-surgical planning, where a doctor has provided his personal patient, and he can sort of visualize in any better way, and also can make we had all those tools inside virtual reality so that he can do all kind of calculations that from which area, if it has certain particular problem at certain particular location at anatomy, so he can compare all those possible ways to reach that particular point, because that is something that doctor has to do in their heads. Now with the visualization, better visualization, they can do it in better way to plan better their surgeries. So they can sort of compare in all these things that how many pathways are intersecting and everything to reach that particular problem section. So I'm going to add their link here. Immersive Touch is a wonderful company which was working in. I have also worked with other doctors as well, but Immersive Touch is really good.
Okay. And another question, Avi. Where do you see virtual robotics going on? Like, say, if somebody want to, I was hearing about this. I don't know if it is, if I'm thinking too far right now, but people were talking about in the medical space, at least, that they are planning to come up with, virtual robotic system through which people can operate patients remotely. Do you see that happening? Like, will that pick on commercially at a later stage?
I definitely see that happening, and we are building something like that right now. So I cannot talk much about it, but that is definitely a case. What I can talk is what we are building is something where a doctor can sort of treat or sort of visualize or diagnose a patient which is sitting in a remote location, and we are using robotics to be able to control the remote machine. What kind of machine? I cannot talk much about it right now, but yeah, these sort of applications are really useful. There is a machine called Da Vinci. If you look at that, that is sort of the extreme of what when we want to do when we are talking about virtual and remote robotics in healthcare sector. So Da Vinci is a tool where doctor can operate. Use it. It has two parts. One is the haptic section where doctor sits and inside this immersive machine, and he is able to control the other part of the machine which is completely remote, and he can perform surgeries. There are plenty of great videos available of this Da Vinci machine in which they are sort of peeling a grape skin over a remote location and things like that. So this is very precision heavy, very cool machine.
And how much time? Like, what's the timeline when it become sort of a normal thing? Any estimates there?
uh we are looking for like I'm not really sure. A lot of companies are working on these things, which are remote in some ways and using robotics. So some are already operational in beta version. some are already looking at the timeline we are looking at my company is somewhere around 2025 to be operational. uh, Before that it will be in beta stages only. So right now it is also, we are also collaborating with the 5G spectrum and everything, so they're also part of 5G hackathon and everything. So this is why we are sort of looking at this timeline, because the availability of 5G and everything is something which needs to be there to be able to operational in better ways.
True. One last question. I'm sorry, I'm asking too many questions here, but I'm intrigued. So the last question that I have is basically: are there companies working on consumer, for from a consumer standpoint? Are they working on some camera devices that can be, bought by a consumer, and if they can have their 3D replica version in accurate form, so that if a doctor want to consult, say, like, a basic inspection has to be done remotely, do we have something happening in that space?
No, I don't think so, but I'm not much aware about the space because this is a very good use case. I am aware about a few sort of devices which does like which shows all the veins and everything with certain kind of lights. They show all the veins so that it makes really easy for nurses and doctors to find where to put the needle in and everything. But I'm not aware of other scanning devices which sort of does this. uh, and I'm not really sure about this space.
No problem, but thank you, Avi. This is beautiful. I mean, I learned a lot.
Yeah,
Thank you
I have
for
worked
addressing
in
our
medical
curiosity.
imaging, and there are a lot of radiation and everything is also associated with these kind of scan. So I'm not really sure to what extent it could make a commercial product, because whenever some radiologist do it, he has all the measurements.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. I can see Aman here. Hi Aman, how are you?
I'm doing good, Avi. How are you?
Doing really well. Would love to listen to you.
Yes, Avi. So, yeah, my experience with Metaverse is not that much. For introduction purposes, I am a software developer. Currently, I'm working in DXA Technologies, where I'm working with PayPal in their dispute management system. But yeah, for me,
Aman, your voice is really low. Can you come closer to the mic?
can you hear me now?
Much better, yeah.
Yeah. So I've worked with PayPal at present. Uh, uh, Involving in their development and dispute management system, the latest version. So for me, I did have an application related to AR. I think, yeah, AR. In my previous job, wherein we're working with the PSU, which would we would be helping in detecting the pipeline rust issues, or any faults in the pipeline, or any what do you say, welding unwanted welding flaw faults. So we were more into the back end, where we would give them a report, and there was an attempt by our side wherein people can actually see a, like a virtual model of a, let's say, a cross section of a pipeline, to make maybe a service maintenance person see where exactly is the fault lying in the pipeline, so that they can do a repair more easily, right? So a visual signaling is more intuitive to a person, rather than, let's say, in a form of report, right? So that is my experience basically with Metaverse. Like, I feel like, let's say, an industrial application later on can be that we can actually visually interpret any critical issues in a system, rather than in a form of reports, right?
Yeah, Aman,
Yeah.
completely agree. And yeah, it's a really good use case in AR, as you said.
So yeah, apart from that, I think there have been many attempts. Let's say, I think one of the first attempts I know is by Google, in form of Google Glasses, which I think they later shelved the project. But I think, if right now, I think there are many similar projects. I think from Microsoft, and I think either Oppo or Huawei has made a glass product based on that.
Yeah,
So
Oppo
yeah,
Air is there. Vive has made a Vive Flow. So these are the segments which are like sort of uh, inter interconnected in one space.
yeah, yeah. So I have a question. Like what's the right now in the industry? What's the status of metaverse? Like, are we going with a full scale deployment of a metaverse universe? Like in sense, are we still looking at identifying what are different components involved in maybe formation of a metaverse?
So kind of metaverses are already here. If you talk about uh, my definition. So it's mostly revolves around the ways to connect in virtual spaces, and we can sort of do it with plenty other platforms. So if I talk about, I did a conversation with Geo about metaverses that is available on the Geo Tesseract channel. So Geo is also building one virtual reality headset, and they are building a VR headset which is called Geo Glass. We are also coming up with two applications on top of GeoClass platform. So they invited me for this conversation about metaverses and spoke to them. And I too, when I was researching for this particular thing, I also came to know that in 1994 there was a marriage which happened inside this virtual platform, which was created by Cybermind company. So a lot of things were like they're already happening. Things are already happening in space. Facebook has really been a catalyst in this particular domain. And then, of course, there is Microsoft, which has now coming up with Teams, and Teams within Teams they are integrating Mesh, which means you will be able to do this conferences inside virtual reality and in format of metaverse. Then there is Omniverse by Nvidia, which they are building, and then there are plenty of other platforms. Like there is a platform even on Indian name called Sansar, and Sansar literally means the world, and they have built a virtual world and named it Sansar. Then there is VR chat, which is there for so much long time, and this is the like metaverse on steroids. There are plenty crazy things happening in VR chat. So to my definition, metaverses are already here. However, still we need to figure out a few things, or maybe make a few things more popular, like being able the ability to touch, feel. These things are yet to be commercialized well. Ability to smell inside metaverses. Even right now, we can do all kind of trades and everything using a lot of metaverses. So things are becoming more and more real. We are getting closer to Ready Player One, and within next 5 years, I think we'll be closer to Ready Player One kind of thing.
That's cool. I mean, I can say, comparison to cloud computing, like there were SaaS applications before itself, like in early 2000, like in a form of email client, a email website, right? But later on, we had infrastructure as a service and platform as a service coming, right? So I think the way you pointed out, I feel metaverse is in that stage where, like, when cloud computing came into infrastructure as a service in form of Amazon Web Services, right? So that is, yeah, what I've interpreted, and it's interesting that I use Teams every day. So it's interesting that my daily stand-up calls can be taken place in a metaverse in some years' time.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can see
I think
Rahul in the comment section. Rahul, if you can come up and we can discuss about the work you are doing as well. Rahul has been a guest on my podcast as well.
I think Bill Gates has already mentioned like in 3 years meetings will be in metaverse. I'm like I don't know how it's gonna work out. So, but it will be very interesting. I feel like.
Yeah, and sort of we did a lot of meetings in metaverses. If I talk about, I did the first podcast inside virtual reality in India. So that is like I did back in 2019. So it is possible, and it felt like we are in the same room. However, the guest was in Chicago. I was in India. So it was still seamless.
That is very interesting. I think I'm excited to look at the developments here. I think wanted to ask, like, Avi, what is the best resource in terms of learning more about metaverse, or like anything online that you tend to follow, or the podcasts, or any suggestions on that part would be very helpful.
Yeah, so there are plenty levels how much deeper you want to go into the rabbit hole. So of course there is a video by Mr. Who's the Boss, and he covered this metaverse where it talks about what exactly metaverse is. It talks about how big it could be, what are the problems which we face. Of course, if I talk about the problems, since it's a better way to connect, you are connecting with more uh, with all possible ways with somebody. The people who take advantage of you, the people who bully you, the people who sort of scam you, they also get the opportunity to connect to you better, right? So how we can prevent this and everything. So he talks about everything in that particular video. So that is a beginner way to sort of learn it. Then if you want to learn an intermediate way, then we have a 7-day course on XRDI, which sort of gives you a ride through the metaverse, virtual reality, augmented reality, and everything. If you want to understand it on more higher level, then there are people, friends like there are people like Ritesh Kanji, who's working in computer vision, and he's doing some amazing stuff. Then there are a lot of good people who are I forget the YouTube name. Dilmer, I guess, is the name. Dilmer is doing some really good stuff. I was talking to him about coming on the podcast, but he is also a very shy person, so he sort of denied it. For I'm trying to get him on the podcast for a long time. He is sort of yeah, doing really good stuff in VR and AR, but he only does tutorials and everything. So based on what level you want to start with, and yeah, ping me anytime. I'll provide you some good resources to start with this.
Sure, definitely, definitely. And I was taking notes down in the back end. I think one thing, like on the podcast side of it, where do you host your podcast? Can you give more details on that part?
Yeah, it's available on YouTube only. I have linked the channel. Let me link it again. So the podcast is available on YouTube. I have invited some really great people from all kind of background within virtual reality, journalism, within people who create movies in virtual reality, and people who create products in VR. So a lot of people are there, uh, and yeah, you'll find it interesting. That's for sure. So I have 2 seasons. One is still running. Season 1 has 40 episodes. Yeah, so it's available in the playlist section. There you will be able to find the XR podcast link.
Sure. Thanks a lot. I think I was thinking YouTube was YouTube and something else was there. So I think I'll check your YouTube channel. I think thanks on that.
There is also 1 hour video by Zuckerberg on Facebook that will give you a full introduction to uh, metaverse.
Yeah, that's also something which you can follow. It's more about what they are building and what they want Metaverse to be, what you can do in upcoming time.
Sure, definitely we'll take a look at it. Thanks a lot on that.
I can see Girish Ji here. Hi Girish, would love to talk to you. Love to listen to your experiences about virtual reality and augmented reality. I can see you do a lot of podcasts, so would love to listen to you.
There's not really much to say. I mean, metaverse is already here. I mean, I mean, it took us a long time to figure out that. Oh, I didn't realize that Zoom is here. So I think people are trying to understand what's new. Apparently, for us technologists, we've been there and done that. But I think the new person nowadays, it's more on the medical side that we are facing. There's a person that I'm talking to today and recording today in a few minutes. He's a VR educator on the medical side of things, and how VR is changing over on the medical side. You're sitting down in India or doing a VR operation down in the West Coast, which is California or something like that. I mean, that's just one example. There's others which are, all the way from the West Coast to UK. So these are the examples that we are talking about and how things have changed over the years. Like, I mean, today, I mean, right now, people are talking about, oh, wow, I didn't realize that we have Zoom. So I think people are understanding now that Metaverse is coming. But according to me, Metaverse is already here. So I don't know how to react to this. And I don't know when people they say Metaverse madness. Because I think we are in a lockdown mode and I think we're reading more. I think maybe that's what it is. So it's okay to react now. But I reacted almost a few years ago, many years ago. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is correct, Girish. I also told the same thing that metaverses are there for a long time. So I'm somebody who's working in XR, virtual reality, augmented reality for past 8 years. Worked on XR healthcare domains. Worked on a lot of consumer-based products, even an e-commerce platform within virtual reality. It is crazy, and yeah, a lot of things are still in development, like a better consumer product for haptics and everything. But metaverses are already here, and the Facebook's transaction into Meta is sort of a marketing gimmick. It's sort of but still it was necessarily because now nobody a lot of people don't know that these things are so real, right? They still think Oculus headset as a gaming platform only, or somebody which is good, something which is good for kids only. So I think it's better to be reminded that metaverse are real and metaverse madness is going on.
Yeah, so I think I could be wrong because obviously I don't know anything, right? But I'll tell you one thing: the people who are in the baby boomers and Gen X's, I think those are the people who are kind of freaking out that this is the madness that we're getting into. People in the baby boomers and Gen X's, they are saying that, okay, I'm going to be scared if someone is going to operate me all the way down to the other side of the world. You sure we have the infrastructure in order to do this? Because you know what? You're actually doing an operation on a, let's say, a heart, and obviously you're touching something else. So is it safe? Is it not safe? Those are the things I think we need to talk about versus, oh, you know what, the technology is here. I think we should be talking about infrastructure more than anything else. That's just my thought process because technology is binaries, right? It's zeros and ones. Is going to work. But the main question is it going to work around the world at the same
Yeah, the
time,
belief of people.
simultaneously?
Yeah. So I
So
in
I think we
20
should be talking more on the network side of things. Yeah.
of course, network side of thing and educating people about this. So in 2017, I sort of start joined this company called Immersive Touch, and the founder of this company was Dr. Prashant Banerjee. He's somebody who's working in VR for past 25 plus years. So he's the guy who sort of worked on. There's a company. There was a product called Cockpit, Virtual Cockpit. He has worked on that, which is used for air flight training and everything. So he is a sort of pioneer for that. So I've learned a lot of things from him as well. And now these things are becoming reality and more accessible to people, thanks to the subsidies which Facebook provides. I'm sure they're gonna provide it. They have said that they're gonna provide the subsidies for upcoming time as well. But yeah, it is good that it's happening and a lot of people are adopting it.
Yeah, I mean, I forget the movie's name, but I think it's what is it, Kingsman Gentleman or something like that. It's one of the movies that all the Kingsmen they came into a conference room, and one person is sitting in UK, and then all of a sudden the building got blown up. So the reality is that technically speaking, all of them should die, but technically is only just one person dying because everyone is just joining virtually. So I think if you take that vision with other items nowadays, I think we're living in a world that we're going to be totally virtual. But I think I'm hating also at the same time because we are losing the human connectivity also at the same time. Because you know what? For example, I'll give you an example. Me and Ragnath, we have talked for almost I don't know how many months. I have no clue if we're gonna meet or not. But virtually, I think we're friends for the longest time. Does that make sense? So I think we're living in a world that we're totally virtual and do not need to go anywhere, which is healthy and not healthy at the same time. So yeah.
That's amazing, Girish. So your podcast is all about tech, right?
Okay, so my podcast is all about marketing, business, and technology. My podcast is also about medical, which is your health and fitness and nutrition. My podcast is also about NFT and Bitcoin and real estate and finance. And my podcast is also about motivational speakers because I release podcasts every day. Because the title of my podcast is Back to Basics. Because you know what, people have a tendency to complicate things, and my job, and I'm trying to make that job, make it simple and fun and educated at the same time. I've done over 130 episodes so far, and I'm releasing my second season next year. So yeah, so that's what it is all about. I mean,
Yeah, doing a
I talk about a
podcast
lot of
every
things.
day sounds really crazy because I do it weekly and I understand how much process I follow to be able to execute it properly.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely time consuming, but if you plan it out, take an example of the movie actor Akshay Kumar. Right, he releases 4 movies per year. Now, in one of the interviews, they said that how can you release 4 movies in 1 year because one person just done one movie 1 year, right? Because he says that out of the 365 days, 30 days you're going to spend time with your family, and what happens with the other 310 days, 330 days, right? That's where all your editing comes in, and that's where your dubbing comes in. You have time. You just have to make time. So that's how I rumble on that part.
Really salute to
And,
you for doing this every day. This is amazing.
and pretty soon he's going to add bamboo to the podcast. Yeah, Girish.
Yeah. Say that again. I'm sorry, Ratnat.
Pretty soon you're going to add bamboo also to the podcast.
I didn't get that last part, or is it just me? I'm sorry.
Pretty soon you're going to add bamboo podcast as well.
Yeah, you and I were supposed to talk about that. Yeah, so we should talk about that. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely
So,
tough, Evie, but I enjoy this process. I met so many people, and people are definitely liking my work. I hope so. Hopefully, people can listen to my podcast, and it's on all audio platforms, including YouTube. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I have subscribed you on YouTube. Would love to subscribe to you on other platforms as well. Really amazing. Would listen to it from there.
Honestly, I'm a nobody because you are one season away from me. But we have to learn from each other. So I am definitely not the best, but I'll tell you one thing that I'm the best in my bubble. But that doesn't mean I am the best. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Girish, thanks for sharing your thoughts about the metaverses. And you said it really correct that they are already here. I'll move to Ankur. Hi, Ankur. Would love to listen to you about your thoughts on metaverses.
Hi, Avi. I just came here because I want to share one news that we are planning a series of event in Haryana. Okay, and that we are planning from hopefully the next month end or maybe in February. It's the event is the future of meta education.
That's amazing. So,
Okay.
meta
So
education.
yeah, okay. So we are getting support from Hatron. Hatron is in Haryana Government Skill Development Center. But headquarter is in sorry, Panchkula, and they are having a very large campus in Gurgaon in Udyog Vihar. Okay. So now, I am inviting all the experts here to be part of this event because we want and versatile content in this particular things, because what we are looking for, we want to make in three vertical. First is up to class 8, then from class 9 to class 12, then you can say class 13 or for the college student from 13 onwards.
That's amazing, Ankur. Thanks for letting us know about this. So this is going to be what kind of program? What the kids gonna learn?
First, we want to do it a virtual, okay. Then later we will make it as a physical event. See, the problem is there physical event. If we can make a virtual event physical anytime, but changing physical event to virtual is a very big challenge. And also,
Completely agree. Yeah.
you can see that the corona pandemic is again corona is again creating the pandemic. So that's the reason first I was deciding on a physical event, but then I decided that if I make it all the events, all the arrangement, do all the things with the sponsor, everything, and at the last moment the event has been cancelled. So it was a very big problem in the future.
That is correct, Ankur. Thanks for sharing this news and ping me the details about this when
So
this is
definitely,
happening. I'll definitely
I
join.
text you on the Instagram. We will keep in touch for the same.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Ankur. Hi, Manthan. How are you?
Hi Avi, and I'm just going good, man. I hope you are doing good too.
Yeah, I'm doing really well. I can see you are in blockchain. Would love to talk to you about what you think about metaverses. And did you get time about talking this?
First thing that I would to bring out here is that people who, because see, I see, just few days back I seen some news channel telling that they are hosting the news in Meta World, right? And there was just a virtual place and they named it as Meta.
Yeah,
Where it's funny, right? Because what you see virtually, it is not meta, it's just a part of it, right? Because the word metaverse is way too deep, to be very honest with you. Just putting anything in the virtual world and telling them ki, oh, this is I'm in the metaverse, or creating your bitmoji and calling that you're in the metaverse. No, you are being a part, you are being friendly with metaverse right now. Later what will come to you, you will become more friendly. So it is just an awareness which we all have right now. But according to me and according to my understanding, what is being spread right now, it is just that FOMO of people not knowing anything will get them to something, to know something. But again, the information can get you killed at the same time, right? So it is a very like the actual metaverse is far right now, because the actual metaverse, I can tell you, according to Elon Musk, I read it somewhere that he says that actual metaverse is something when you implant a chip in your head and you have the ability to just close your eye and go into some other state of your mind,
yeah,
or
because he
other place.
sells chip, right?
Yeah, like he sells chip and he says it because see, now whatever he says on Twitter is a marketing gimmick for all the crypto or the tokenomics around the globe, right? Now, when he says something like this, there are people who are following up to this or trying to put something like this already, because we do not know, because we like I came to know about metaverse a year back, right? And if we see NFT has been around since 2016, 17, 18. I don't know, since the time there was NFT, and now we knowing about NFT at that thanks to technology that we knowing this early. Otherwise, we would have known, I think, more than 5 to 6 years, after 5 to 6 years. Okay, so being metaverse is something very deep project where people need education first. That what is blockchain? Let's just understand what is blockchain, and what is going to build on blockchain is something different which we all have not noticed, and it is beyond the understanding. So if it is something beyond the understanding, so an education needs to be placed out. And if we talk about infrastructure or anything beyond that, that needs to be done hand to hand, right? Because if me and you come together and create a company and we'll tell that we have created an infrastructure for metaverse, then I'm so sorry, then it is not an infra, it is an architectural part for metaverse. The infrastructure is made when we work with the people who are going to convey to other people, like the government, like the association linked with the government at the same time. Then we create an infrastructure for people to come and create their own architecture in our own infrastructure. I hope I make sense. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I got it. Got some part of it for sure.
I mean, there are very lot of parts, right? If you talk about,
Yeah,
because if you see Meta, so the time Facebook named it as Meta, there were few coins which were metaverse coins, right? And they just skyrocket right there. Okay,
so
so
metaverse coin is very different than the Meta, right?
yeah, no, yeah, yeah. Meta is Facebook, to be very
Meta
simple.
is
See,
Facebook, right?
yeah, basically, See, I'm telling you the mentality which people had put their brain into, that Facebook has put Meta. That means now people are calling Facebook Metaverse straight. They don't know what is their future project. They are now they speculating that Oculus will be a device to do this, do that. Yeah, I accept it. But do you know their work plan? Do you know the roadmap? Do you know what is coming next? No. So we just predicting it, and we try the assumption of us will take place, and out of many assumptions, one will go right to some extent, and then again we will start the assumption will start from zero again, because something else would have been taken place right there. Like if you take Sandbox as a metaverse, right? It's a place metaverse. You see Nike, Adidas buying lands there. Now you see Nike buying two companies of metaverse who used to create sneakers and clothes for metaverse, but it's in AR and not in VR. So it's an AR. So basically, AR glasses will be taking place soon, or something like AR will take place soon, or lenses will take place soon. So it's a whole infrastructure will be made accordingly, and it will take time. Nothing will come this easy to us. Though the meetings might happen in the virtual world, but please, we should not rate them as metaverse or something, because it's a very different approach, according to me. So yeah, that's all from my
So
side.
you mean there is going to be some sort of the entire ecosystem need to be built instead of just one thing operational or one company operational. The entire ecosystem needs to sort of collaborate and share their offerings to be able to call it a metaverse, right?
No, so yes, but I say yes, but also we have to look onto this, that blockchain is what we are using blockchain, and we are hyping blockchain for what? For decentralization, if I'm not wrong, right? For
Of course,
decentralization, and the second part coming, it's because of the security. So if
security,
government is using blockchain, it will take it for security. If
ownership,
they
and
are,
trust replacement. Yeah,
yeah, so and for second part is decentralization. That means company will take place, or something like, like there are three, basically people needs a basic education about blockchain. There are three types of blockchain. First is public, like Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can do anything, you can code, do anything you want. Second come is the private one, where you only nodes which are like nodes are someone who agree to a transaction. They are only allowed to see or do whatever is happening in that frame, right? The third is the hybrid one, like banks. When you open a bank card, you can see your own savings account transaction and so things, but at the same time you cannot see someone else's bank account which are banking with the same bank. So this is called hybrid, half public and half private. So now the major concern happens is that now metaverse, what sort of metaverse is being built right now? Is it decentralized? Is it publicly?
if
So it has the,
yeah, if Facebook is involved, definitely not decentralized, right?
yeah. So it is. See, I'll tell you a funny joke also right now. We are buying decentralized coins on a centralized exchange.
Truly, yeah.
So that's a matter of joke, right? Because again, what you're doing is just same. Doesn't make sense to me, because everything is being
So
there
it
on the
it is
ledger itself.
decentralized in terms of operations, right?
In everything, let's see that the government is planning for a project, and that amount is with government. Let's say $1 lakh, 1 lakh crore is with government, right? Now the government put everything on the ledger, the expense ratio. They have given money to this, that, and all the money is there on the ledger right now, and they are understanding what is happening. So that is decentralized. That entire money which we paid as taxes have gone somewhere to this guy. Now this guy owns it. Now this guy has, everything is open to you, right? So this is how the decentralization work, that nobody controls it. There is a, it is a community driven. So why NFTs are at boom? Few NFTs costing $1 million to us. Why? Because they have made themselves community driven, and not to a single person doing something or telling something. Like if you buy a Bored Ape NFT, you are being called to a yacht party or somewhere, and the boarding pass is just your NFT,
Yeah,
which
that's
worth a
the way
million
to
dollar.
sell NFTs at high price, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Just
it's
the
easy
hype
because
cycle.
it's hype, and basically what you have taken from the community, you're giving it back also, right? Because if the party is happening in metaverse and
Yeah,
you have
if
all the equipments with you, then
correct.
you have the Bored Ape NFT with you, which is your gate pass. Simple as that.
That is correct.
So yeah, so it is basically all about community driven, and most of the understanding should come around to the gen z's and the people who are only trying to make money. But apart from making money, we have a future in there. The plus 20 years we see, right now I see myself that things will be very different, and my parents won't be able to won't like it, and if they like it or do not like it, things will be like that. So yeah, that's all from my side, Ravi. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you, Manthan. Thanks for sharing all this explanation about the blockchain and how we can better execute these things. Bips, hi, how are you? And would love to listen to you.
Hi Avi, what's up? Long back.
Yeah, we are
Yeah,
just discussing about metaverse again. So a lot
yeah.
of people are still need to be sort of aware about what metaverses
Okay.
are and how they can. Yeah. So what
Right,
what
right.
are your definition of metaverse?
Yeah. So what happens is before a few months, this Facebook changed its name to Meta, and that is where everybody started talking about the metaverse or this particular virtual reality thing. But if you go back to 10 years before, also people were talking about it, and this is a very old technology. I started my first introduction to Meta was there was a game was called Robobox. So a lot of Canadian people and I think the people from US. Uh, so those are the people they used to go over there and they used to play the games and they used to hang out. I mean, for the millennial generation, they used to go over there to hang out actually, and then they used to choose which are the games that we can play, and then they used to do that. And normally for our generation we used to play game for competing with each other, right? So I used to play all the games to be in the leaderboard, and all my friends would be there, and then I used to play for that. But then those are the concept I was keep on hearing before 2017, 18, and all these things. But after this particular thing happened, particular incident happened, then a lot of things has changed the perception about the people of the people actually. The difference between web 1, web 2, and web 2.0, that is slowly people have started researching about what exactly the difference between it, and how it is going to take a big way, is going to impact the real world on the other way around. So when Web 2 been introduced, all the people were little bit skeptic about it. How the interaction in the with the web applications are going to work, and then how these things are going to roll out. But then Google and Facebook, they came up with wonderful and very good user interfaces and UI and UX, so that we came to know about that. Okay, this is something that we are very our generation we can relate to, because it started somewhere, and we are the user of those applications. But slowly then things are going to be decentralized, right? The things are going to be this is the, I think, web 3.0 is going to be the future, and metaverse is going to be the future. The difference between the value creation of web 2.0 companies versus web 3.0 companies would be very uh, you know substantial. Like if Amazon and Apple, or maybe some company, there are only two 1.3 trillion dollar valued company in the world, but in the age of metaverse, in the age of 3.0, it's going to be 10x more, I think. You can see a company very soon, within 10 years you can see a company who is having a 100 trillion valuation, or maybe a 200 trillion valuation, who knows. So this is the thing that we are we are going to experience it. It's very clear now. Before Facebook, or before Facebook became Meta, it was a question mark, like whether it's going to happen or not, or it was a question mark. People are still considering that it can happen or may not be. Maybe it can go haywire. But after that, everybody is clear now. This is something which we are surely we should look at. And what is exactly metaverse? मेरे knowledge में metaverse is something that where you can really experience the experience your worldly transactions. So अभी ऐसे बोलते हैं कि one of the person, I think one of the room that we are discussing, they were saying that a cartoon character में avatars में जाके आप वहाँ पे कुछ करते हो, then how is going to create real value? If I have a painting which is a real painting, I can sell it to a person, and then the person will have the real value for the painting. Like the person can put the painting over there in the wall, and for so many years he can see it, and then he can resell it. So how exactly it happens in metaverse, and how it exactly happens, especially if you're talking about the NFTs and all. So yeah, those are few questions that need to be answered. I think yeah, it's funny, but to make it short, that I'm very excited about this metaverse thing which is going on. Even in fact, I'm also working on a few of the projects. It's difficult to communicate right now what exactly it is if you are not a techie. But the thing is that get the instinct that a lot of things are going to happen in this, the era of Web 3.0. I think, yeah. Back to you, Avi. Not taking much time.
Yeah, Bibbs, thanks for sharing this summary. And definitely, as you said, Facebook recently changed its name to Meta, and all this hype about Metaverse has sort of boomed. Before that, we of course had these applications which does the same job which are expected to be done by metaverses. And one of these jobs were to be able to provide some kind of social virtual reality. We used to call it social VR only. We had plenty of these applications like Art Space VR. Then we have this Rec Room. Then we have VR Chat. These are sort of the platform which are now being called metaverses. And then there are so many other platforms as well which sort of bridge the NFT space, bridge the crypto space to the metaverse. Now there is also a conflict which has started to form because the people who are coming from the NFT and crypto space, they have this decentralized experience and decentralized mind, and they want to see things being decentralized and being able to the hype format, like supply and demand format. And now the people who are coming from the gaming background, who has experienced this social virtual reality aspect, they does not have that kind of mindset. They want to have meetings, they want to have other kind of things. So there are two sort of differentiation or two sort of definitions about metaverses. The term is same, but because there are two communities sort of colliding together, they both have conflict appearing. So what is your idea? Where do you stand? Do you see, or do you see a metaverse to be essentially a decentralized network, or a non-decentralized and more of social network where you don't even have to purchase any kind of things or do any kind of transaction? Or is it transaction oriented and decentralized thing? What do you think?
Are you asking me, Avi?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I think, yeah, if you're talking about the metaverse, it should be decentralized totally. The transaction should happen. I'm not sure about the whether we should do the transaction with cryptocurrency or some other currency like the government currency. If government comes with some certified crypto that is managed by some central banks, so I don't know about that. But yeah, the transaction should happen. It must happen. It's going to happen actually. Nobody can stop it. If they don't allow it, people will do it some other way. Like you can buy some USDT or something like Ethereum or something. You can do that.
Yeah.
And secondly, coming back to your first question, that the name, yeah, it's a good thing that everything is coming now under Meta. That everybody has started talking about the metaverse. A lot of if I go through Google, a lot of newspaper articles and big news medias, they're covering this particular thing. That this is something which is new, which is going to revolutionize the entire world in coming 10 years or 20 years. So everything, like we used to talk about the progressive application, we used to talk about augmented reality, we used to talk about virtual reality, we used to talk about the environment creation, we used to talk about the Unreal Engine and all these things. So all these things together, they came under the Meta, that umbrella. So thanks to a few of the people who are the market leader, especially thanks to Facebook, to create that term, like, okay, metaverse, and metaverse comes under everything. And that way, before some time, people used to get confused actually, that what exactly people are talking about, and what is AR, and how augmented reality works, and how to shoot a video. Somebody asked me how to shoot a video in augmented reality. I'm working on that. So okay, so how exactly you're working on the augmented reality video? And then some people used to talk about holographs and all these things. So a lot of confusion was there, but now it's slowly getting clear and people are getting clear ideas about what exactly it is. And about the transaction methodology, if we understand the basic economics, that initially we started with, as human beings, as Homo sapiens, we started with a barter economy. Like if you have rice and I have oil, you come to me, you give me a proper quantity of rice which has already been pegged, and the same amount of oil I can give it to you, and we can do it all the many time over. So we can fix a time limit for it. We can we can fix the frequency of transaction for it. We can do it as per our requirement. So in the same way, money been introduced, and we are doing to we started using money to make it more simpler, like multiple commodity, one particular medium of exchange. We started doing it. But the same thing can happen with the web 3 applications. The same thing can happen with the meta world, that you can literally buy I just gone through one of the application virtual environment. They're literally selling land. The name was Upland in US. It's very, very, very famous now. So
Yeah. Is
every
it
Indian
physical
people,
land or the
no,
virtual one?
virtual
Yeah.
land, virtual
Then
land.
decentralized land is one as well, right?
Yeah, Mana and
Yeah,
something
Mana
are
is
there.
also there. Yeah.
Very famous, that one. That too have now become very expensive now. So people are started believing that. When you started believing Indian rupee has some value, then only the Indian rupee has value. But the day Narendra Modi came and said your 500 rupees are that is just waste now. It doesn't have the transaction value. Then immediately you went to the bank and just deposited those money, right? So people realize that, and they literally proven that the platforms like Mana, the platforms like this Upland, which is now growing. Anybody who is interested, just research about it. Just download the white paper which is available Google for free, and then just go through it. So I'm not saying to invest on it, but just go through it carefully just to understand this concept. So this is happening already. It's not just something going to happen whether we should do it or not do it. People already started doing it, and people started earning millions of dollars in over there those platforms. Actually, one of my friend, Avi, you remember the guy Tan?
Yeah, I remember.
Tan from US.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So that guy who invested in Upland, and he was promoting that particular link to everybody over there in the clubhouse, and he was promoting that particular thing, that you can come, you can buy literally virtual land. Original land you cannot buy it over there in the California or maybe some other places. So you can buy this virtual land. After some time you can sell it and get your money back. And people made millions of dollars in that particular application. Even in Mana, if you see, if you anybody can search it out in the Google, many of the people they earn in hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars over there in the Mana platform. So what happens is become real now. Actually, when you're having real money in your bank, not in crypto even, actually you convert it to some currency like bad currency or crypto, USDT, within 14 days if you get it in your bank account. If that thing is happening, it's something which is real we're talking about. It's not hoax. It's not something which is somebody's making it out, or some cartoon game they somebody said it just like it look like a cartoon game that you're putting it together and all these things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I did recently a transaction of let's say $100 something with my Bitcoin wallet. So what happened? It took 30 to 40 minutes to be able to process that particular transaction. So I think it's brilliant technology, but still, why that amount of, I mean, that kind of weight is associated with it?
Mining, I think. The speed of mining.
No. Let me just. Sorry to cut you down, Bibs. I'm so sorry, man. So the time which took you so long to transfer is the transaction speed which is there in the smart contract or there in the layer one of Bitcoin, right? Which is also we call scalability. So when you talk about cryptocurrencies, we also talk about layer one, layer two. So what is layer one? Layer one always consists of smart contracts. So either the algorithm be proof of stake or proof of work, but the algorithm works on a simple contract. That layer one is a smart contract where you buying something and someone is mining and is giving it to you, right? So the time of transaction, the speed of transaction is there. So that is the reason if you look to Ethereum has a gas fees. Now what is gas fees? Gas fees is a transaction fees which you pay not to Ethereum but to the validators who are validating your transaction
The
and
binders, right?
giving you the product. Yeah. So like mining, those people are known as validators or nodes, you can call it, right? So those people charge money. So that process, not those people, but the process is charging you money. So if you want your transaction to be happen in just 5 minutes, there is gas fees of ranging from $50 to $500. And if you can wait with the normal gas
So
fees,
it's an entire queue, which is a queue of transaction,
yeah,
which is
queue
sort
of
of being
transact
processed. And
queue of transaction.
based on what kind of priority you want, you can also raise the gas fee to be able to execute it faster.
But also you have a one system which is helping you right now. So when you look at Ethereum layer 1, which was only smart contract, but Ethereum layer 2 comes along with scalability, but not that much to the love, because if you see Polygon, formerly known as Matic. Okay, so sorry, Matic it is known for, I just don't know that. Okay, bear you with the name. So Polygon, Matic, which is all known as, so that part. And Arbitrum and OMG, these are the three main players, and there are many more players, but these are the main players in layer 2, which are helping them to increase the transaction speed. Like the Visa has, I think, 1 million transaction or 1 lakh transactions
Right,
per second, right?
per
And
second,
where
yeah.
they don't have. Why? Because the energy taken to mine a Bitcoin is way more. So Ethereum is solving that. While Ethereum is doing that, we have one more game player is known as Solana, which has come up with their own algorithm called proof of history. Okay, so Solana is claiming that our transaction is the fastest, and I guess it is. But again, Solana has a history of shutting down twice. It is
But let it
semi
get
decentralized.
scaled, then we'll see which it is faster or not.
No, I mean scaling will also take place, but also at the same time you need to solve the problem of the mining problem, which is taking a lot of energy in the real time, right?
Hmm.
So it's like why Elon Musk had a meeting with them, right? With all the Bitcoin miners back then, in I think in Florida or somewhere. He had a meeting to solve this problem of miners, because the energy which they take, time taken, the algorithm they solve is very sick. 90% of the Bitcoin is already mined. So I hope people know that 90% of Bitcoin is already mined, 10% is left. Okay, so that now the last Bitcoin will be mined in 2140. This is the stats with this. That means I think 120 years it will take to mine the last one, and it is the algorithm. So it is a very tough maths equation which the computer solves, and the more the power you have, which acts like a brain, and the more faster you can solve the problem. So this power needs electricity. So how do you solve it? Not by just putting some solar panels on your top and you can solve it. But no, this is just a temporary problem, like like a solution. What is the real solution is that you eliminate the use of such heavy products and put them to a alternative way. Like let's go back to 1960s, where transmitters, transistors, and the microchip were very sick, and the processors, there used to be 60,000 processors in a computer to run a simple computation in back then. But now we do not have. Why? Because we understood over the time, we experimented with things, and we got the result now. So same will happen with them, and something else will come. But for now, the stable coins are there, like USDT, and Binance also has BUSD, which is backed by not backed, but it is approved by the US government. So yeah, I think the people, you can use that. But also these Landslock, Sand, Mana, these people have their own coins, so you can buy and use the same coin. But again, the volatility is way too high, so it is at your own risk. Do your own research. But I see more of the influencers who are in the stock market are talking about crypto and giving some information which is not related to crypto, because they have learned in the stock market. So it's all fuss right now, but it will get clear over the time. That's all,
Yeah,
guys.
so
Thank you.
this was my question, because if we have the transaction time which is so high, we cannot build a reliable transaction platform where like thousands of transactions happening in an instance. Uh, so now how metaverse we are gonna stable and being able to do all these transitions. Another question is, Bibs, to you. You told about that the networks has to be completely decentralized metaverses. So do you think the Facebook is gonna go the decentralized route? They are heavily private, and they're gonna prefer even the transaction system private only, with the traditional way of payments. I'm not really sure they gonna implement those
Mhm.
networks or not.
Right, right. So I think yes, actually. Short answer would be yes. Meta company, that is the old Facebook, they're going to be entirely decentralized. That is why they took this particular step. And this is the reason why, because Facebook, we have seen for last 2 3 years, they have gone through a lot of trouble, a lot of bad PR. People started questioning the integrity of Facebook, which Facebook cannot do anything about right now, because in a Web 2.0 platform, then they have to share the data to get the in-app developers to give the training data to develop apps for Facebook or for that particular application. So they were not having much choice, and that guy was tremendously trolled by the entire negative PR. Yeah, people talk about things. I don't judge people based on their based on their current situation, but what are the futuristic thing they are doing? So in 2010 they started a company, Mark Zuckerberg started investing heavy time on a company called Oculus Rift, if you heard about it. And I think you are you are someone who is working with that particular technology. So the Oculus Rift, after that, and after that particular research, a lot of people, a lot of big companies like Apple, like Google, like so many big companies, they started working on it actually, about the metaverse thing and about the decentralization. And they realized one thing, that this particular thing, taking out the information by giving some freemium models, this is going to end one day, right? All of us, we are curious about that what the bigger companies are doing with that data, right? And people are getting slowly educated about what are the data that the companies are, what are the data points that company are collecting, and what are the data points they're selling it out, or whatever it is, how they're using it. So they realize that somehow it's going to end one day, right? So decentralization is the only answer that they have. And all of us, if I tell you that there is two Facebooks, like one Facebook that collect your data, and you know they might sell it to whoever they want, and then you don't know about it. And another Facebook where you have to pay 10 rupees probably, but they cannot touch your data, right? That is going to be entirely decentralized, and your data will be totally secure. So definitely you'll choose the second one, and most of the people, rational people, they choose the second one. Okay, we can pay it like the Apple do, right? It's very simple model. So Apple say, we'll charge you everything, charge you for everything, but we secure your data. How much is secure with the Apple, I don't know. I mean, that is also a question mark, that we know that and how it works. But generally what they do is, they say either you pay for your privacy, or if you using something for free, then you have to pay. We anyway going to monetize you by some other way, right? By collecting your data and selling it to some other entities, or maybe research entities and all these things. So I think decentralization was not is the heart of the decision. How Facebook started working on. That is what my perception is, and also because it's a flow, right? A person who is successful and been questioned by each and every developers in the world, that yeah, the Facebook is a villain, not a not a good company. They sell data. Actually, if you go to see closely about all the companies, then when Web 2.0, all the companies work in that fashion, right? But specifically targeted by people to the Facebook. I think Mark Zuckerberg also wants to change the perception of the people towards him. It's a kind of tough and big decision for him to take it and go ahead with it. Somebody coming out of the public platform and just announcing and changing the entire company's name to something which is something which is maybe a futuristic thing, and a very uncertain thing that nobody cared to, or nobody dared to come in front of all the international media and announcing it, and changing the entire incorporation model of it. So then I think there is something which is great, which is going we are going to witness. So that is what I'm seeing. That is from my point of view totally. I mean, there are a lot of media, there is a lot of books been written on it. There are a lot of information which is available on this particular thing. But I think my perception is very simple. People are now becoming very careful about their privacy. And if it's a question of their privacy, they will definitely, the mood of the people are going to change in the future. And going decentralized, though, I think that is the answer to the big problem that we have right now. Back to Avi.
Thanks for giving this explanation. We have Joshman here. Hi, Joshman. Joshman is someone who's into NFT a big time. Would love to listen to him. Would love to listen to his perspective of this.
Hey, wait, thank you. I'm sorry I joined. I just joined, so I don't know what was the context.
Yeah,
I think we're talking
we
about Facebook.
were talking about Facebook's transition into metaverse. Do they gonna become the decentralized one or not? Because a lot of perception is talking about metaverse is going to be incomplete without being decentralized completely. So, what do you think that Facebook gonna become decentralized with this thing, this metaverse change?
So I've been using Oculus for last 2 years now. Uh, so earlier, when I bought Oculus, I was able to create my own account on Oculus and was able to access the apps or metaverse or whatever there inside it. But recently, they transitioned it to like you have to connect your Oculus account to your Facebook
To the
account,
Facebook account, yes.
right? So this does not give me a sense that they want to lose the control. Okay. Maybe in future they might come up with something that can act, that might not be actually, but can be just shown to the people that is decentralized. But in the end, these companies are doing businesses, right? So they have to earn. They will, and to earn or to make a robust product. I think uh, right now in today's world, decentralized technologies are not much efficient to kind of have a robust product. We have seen so many DDoS attacks on Solana, right? Although it is kind of a very close to centralized. But yeah, we have seen DDoS attacks on Solana. We have seen attacks on Ethereum ecosystem, Polygon. All these are decentralized right now.
Yep.
So if something which has to be very stable, a seamless experience, I don't think right now we are ready, and I'm not assuming Facebook will go that route straight away. What they will do is, like Pips was saying, right now our data is being used by these companies, and we don't get anything out of it, right? So maybe they will start paying us. Like if you allow us to share your data or use for advertisement purpose, you will be getting these much dime coin, whatever their
Like
currency
YouTube
is.
does already, right? YouTube is
Y-
doing the same thing.
No,
You
no,
run advertisement and you get paid.
no, no.
No, no, not that.
What Joshman was talking about is a kind of Brave browser. In
Yeah,
Brave
yeah.
Yeah,
browser, if you see the ad, they pay you in Bitcoin. So, I think that is what's supplementing.
yeah, something similar to like if you see the ad, you get dime coins, or maybe if you allow Facebook to share your information, you will be getting some coins. So like today, if you do Google searches on Bing, right, Microsoft also pays you some points, which you can use to buy Microsoft gift cards or Apple gift cards, stuff like that.
Wow, I never
So
know about it.
yeah, just go into Bing, you'll see they have this kind of plan there. So I think this is how it will start. They will kind of make people assure that okay, we are using your, see, first of all, they use our data also for us, right? Like to make user friendly application. So one thing is that, right? Second is they are selling it for their purposes, for like different purposes, earning profits and all that. So and people are starting to realize that now. So maybe what they will do, they will say, yes, we do share your data, but in return, we will also pay you out of the profit, right? Like in today's world, if you stake your coins with a with a staker, whatever he earns, he also gives you some coins, right?
What I
Something
can
similar, I
see
think,
with
model they have to
Facebook,
do.
they have this one specific target, which is the audience which is working from home, or people who want to sort of build their virtual offices, because they have this horizon, which is sort of a general metaverse where people connect and share information and do things. But they have this horizon home, which is sort of a home kind of thing where you will be able to set up your own space. And the third one is horizon work. In the horizon work, you'll be able to sort of work rooms where you'll be able to set up your workspace and will be able to do collaborative meetings and do all kind of things. So that is also a major point, and I don't see the decentralization helping that. So I don't think
Exactly.
they're gonna do this transaction.
Yeah, so they are working with Microsoft Teams to work to develop on this workplace. They already have this workplace, and yeah. So see now,
Yeah,
if a
recent
company
no
has
no
to,
Microsoft Teams has their own mesh, and recently they have partnered with Zoom. to be able to collaborate in 3D. The Zoom is going to collaborate with the Facebook Horizon.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't read about Zoom yet, but I read about Microsoft.
Yeah, I
So
heard
yes, see
about the
now.
Zoom news.
Okay. So if you see, for example, let's take a company which uses Microsoft Teams services right now for its as an official messenger, right? So let's say Infosys is that company. And now that company is kind of like Microsoft Teams is now moving towards Metaverse, where it will provide you the office-like environment and ecosystem. So that cannot be decentralized, right? Because there is so much confidential and crucial data which companies employees share with each other on that, and no company will want to chat over such decentralized systems which are spread across the world. So, like even in the cloud space, big organizations do not go with public cloud, right? They always have their own private clouds. So that's how this adoption will come, and it won't be straight away decentralized, and it doesn't make sense also at various places.
Yeah, I completely agree in that sense, Joshman. So what is going on with your NFTs, and how much money you made recently?
No, I'm not selling my NFTs.
Not selling
I'm
that?
just looking for, yeah, I don't sell. Like I actually invest only in the project which I see might have a good future. Like for example, crypto.com, I'm assuming it is going to become big, the way they are advertising and aggressively making their space in North America now. So that's why I kind of stay inside crypto.com NFT space, but now I have also moved to Solana. So in Solana, I'm seeing that the way that the ecosystem is developing, and if you see, because of its gas fees and the applications on Solana are so seamless and so smooth. Like even if you use a Radium DEX or anything, so whatever comes on Solana is very high quality. So that's why now I am also looking into NFTs in Solana space. So I'm not sure if I shared, but last month or maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I bought two apartments in Heavenland, which will be their metaverse. So it will be like today's Decentraland. Decentraland is on Ethereum or Matic maybe. Heavenland will come on Solana. So I'm assuming
So what is
that
the
will be good.
price?
So there was an airdrop. 4,914 apartments were dropped. The price was 0.75 Solana for one apartment.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but you never. So it's the building is called Solamids. It's like pyramid. The shape is like pyramid, and they call it Solamid. And there are apartment on that. So the future plan is you can rent your apartment. You can advertise there, and maybe this concept is also getting popular nowadays of fractionalizing NFTs, right? Like fraction ownership of NFT. So for example, my line NFT can be owned by 10 people, not only me. So in that case, a lot of these NFTs are going to boom. So yesterday I read an article. There's a company in US who bought the Cyberpunk, and they are coming up with this fraction, like owning the fractions of NFTs, and maybe next year they will launch it full fledged. So we will now see there will be fractional ownership over NFTs as well. Yeah.
That's amazing. Love to see that happening. Uh, Subramanya is here. Hi, Subramanya.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening. Would love to listen to you, what you do, and your experiences about Metaverse.
I don't have much knowledge about Metaverse. Just it's a platform of all India startup. Let me see, Bulke. I enter into this club room, my dear friends.
Yeah. So, do you have ever experienced a virtual reality simulation or something in a mall or anywhere?
Pardon? Can you repeat?
Have you experienced a virtual reality simulation in a mall or anything, any game?
No, 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 no. I
Yeah,
don't have much knowledge about it.
virtual reality is basically we create entire virtual worlds and we put you as a character inside them, and you are able to roam around this and being able to observe this and sort of interact with this particular world.
No, 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 no. It is not there available in our cities as of now. I think so. I am living at Karnool of Andhra Pradesh. I
Mhm.
think it is very new to our city. I think whatever you are saying.
Subramanianji, you have you seen 3D movies?
Pardon?
Have you seen 3D movies? Three-dimensional movies, 3D movies?
No, no, sir, no, sir. Basically, I am a pharma marketing person. Venture into business.
Hmm.
This is my profile.
Okay. So if you get chance, if there is a movie near around you which is in 3D, go and see that. You will kind of realize that 3D movies. When you see 3D movies, you kind of get an impression that you are y- like whatever the action is happening, it is happening very close to your eyes, and it's not happening inside the
Yes,
movie's
experience
3D.
of
Right?
3D movies is very good. In recent times,
Yeah.
no, I have not watched any 3D movies, but
Yeah.
it's like a real before us.
Yes.
We feel
So meta.
it is like a before us.
Yes. So it's like it's happening in front of your eyes, right? So what
Yes,
metaverse is? Metaverse is enabling you now to be inside that movie. Like you'll get that experience that you are inside that movie or inside that virtual experience. That
okay,
is what
it's
metaverse is.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, it is by Facebook, sir. It is by Facebook.
Facebook has renamed itself to Meta,
Okay,
and they are working on it. But metaverse is a general concept. Already, lot of military and defense forces use the metaverse for training their air force pilots and maybe
okay,
navy also. They have a lot of
okay,
simulators where new
Hi,
IF
good morning,
pilot
everyone.
can get trained on warfare and stuff like that. Even DRDO has it. So metaverse is an old concept, but
hmm,
Facebook is now bringing it to masses. Like it is making it, it's converting its entire
Hi,
social
good
media
morning,
to
everyone.
metaverse. So
And
like today we chat with each other or like each other's posts, right?
hi,
Or maybe
yes,
right now in Clubhouse we are talking to each other. We are unknown people from different parts of the world, but we have come together at a place and talking and
yes,
interacting with each other. So this is also a kind of metaverse, but right now we are interacting with each other using our pictures, right? Tomorrow
very,
maybe
very,
there'll be our avatar, which will be kind of imitating what I am doing. So if I'm speaking, it might be speaking over here. You can see him speaking, and then you might be also have your avatar where you could reply, and I could see you speaking and all the gestures and stuff like that. So that's what Facebook is moving towards.
yes. It is wonderful experience. I think.
hi, good.
Yeah, let's see how it turns out.
Okay. Thank you for giving some inputs, my dear friends.
No
Yeah,
problem.
Subramanya ji, I have added a link on top of it. This is a session which we did at Geo Glass development platform. So Geo in India is coming up with virtual reality headsets, virtual reality glasses,
Okay.
and we
Okay.
explained what are metaverses in this particular session. So that is something
Okay.
you can also visit.
Just now I subscribed, sir. Just now I subscribed.
Yeah, this is Geo's channel. Yeah,
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
thank you. I think we had a lot of conversation today. I'm doing this
Okay.
for past, I guess, 2 hours or something. Right.
Okay.
So let me know if anyone has any question or somebody wants to add more sort of a conclusion on top of it.
I have one question here. I was reading one report.
Yeah.
So these AR/VR glasses are right now not good for kids, right? They are getting some sort of lucid dreams, and it is affecting their mental state. Like it's, yeah, I know in India the mental state and that is not given that much preference, but in foreign countries there is a concern, and I do not know if it is just a kind of a gimmick or is it really a concern that these AR/VR glasses are actually impacting brains of children. And I know most of the AR/VR glasses are supposed to be only used by children 18 year or above, or like adults 18 year or above. So what do you think about this? Is Are we doing something in this space to fix this problem, or is it really a problem?
Yeah, I so see, right now, what researchers I have read about vision problems related to VR, right? So the waveguide which we use, the technology for optics which we use is called waveguide. If we are using, let's say, waveguide technology, I'm not really sure about OLED. I have not heard the report on OLED, but I have heard the previous report which was on waveguide technology, which is also used in Oculus. which when we are using that, it uses the light in such a way that is natural, then it does not affect the eyes in that much. However, I'll come to the lucid dream part. uh, and there is a company in India called Photon VR, Photon VR. What they do is basically they have this platform for educational VR content for children as well. So they have to do this study, and they have to publish this on their front page, because a lot of parents are concerned about the children's eyesight, right? So they have this on the front page. If you visit the website, they have this study available. So you can see the effect on eyes and everything. And this is, if you look for it, it is very negligible, or not even effective if we are using the waveguide format. Not sure about the OLED yet. Never seen any study on that. However, lucid dream can also cause because of the adaptation by your brain. So have if I have did a lot of skating, I have those inline skates, and I used to do this skating. So what happens whenever you are learning these skates, when you will go to sleep, your brain will try to adjust your legs according to the skates. You'll still feel that you are just about to fall, and you are just correcting yourself. So basically, whenever you are going to sleep or whenever you are resting, your brain tries to learn this by repeating the very experience, and that's why you feel everything, right? So if, let's say, I play something in VR, this is a very completely new experience. And motion wise and everything. So brain sort of revises everything in the early stage. So even if these kind of dreams are happening in the early stage, I'm not sure that they're gonna happen after 2 months or 3 months later. So that's what I can understand. However, I have not seen the news about it, and not studied the OLED format, which are like the recent coming up with the other kind of glasses. Oculus is using the waveguide, what I know, but not sure about the OLED one. Still need to study that.
Mhm. So when I started using Oculus, I used to feel a lot of stress in my eyes, and then I found a setting there that I can filter that blue screen, so that helped me with my eyes. But yeah, even if I use it today, right? If I use it for 2 days, I will see those dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
it
don't.
happens
I
to
have
you
the
as
same
well. Yeah.
experience. Yeah, yeah, Joshman, I have the same experience. I used it for six hours, continuously. One is the battery problem; it drains very quickly, and then secondly, yeah, the you feel a little bit pain in your eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I use that rechargeable batteries, but luckily I have not faced a lot of problems like sickness and everything. And I think Indians are more prone to sickness than people in US. What I read in a study by an airline company. So I'm not really sure that how much is there that, but of course, I think Apple is working on this very heavily. They So you have heard about. I did a video on the my YouTube channel. There is a YouTuber called Mark Rober. He has also worked on NASA, and he was also associated with Apple. He was working on this Apple's headset, which is coming in this year, upcoming 2022. So yeah, they are. He was majorly working on this thickness part and the orientation part. Usually, it happens because of bad design. So if you are sort of facing a lot of acceleration issues, then it tends to happen more than if you are playing a well-designed program. But I don't really aware of it. I have not personally experienced much of uh, nausea and everything. Guys, so let me know if somebody wants to come up and ask any questions, and if somebody wants to add something to it. Let's conclude this. Bips, you want to add something to it?
No, it's wonderful. Actually, I see a very big market opportunity in metaverse. If any entrepreneur wants to start something related to it, this is the right time to right time and opportunity to start with. Coming 10 years is going to be huge. If you are creating a NFT platform for India, or maybe a metaverse platform for India, So it's going to be, huge. So I think a lot of engineers, they should also start working on it. And I'm seeing in bigger institute, like reputed institute students, this already, before 2-3 years they started, brushing their skills, and they're ready for this revolution. But yeah, so the other engineers, while they're learning other technologies, they should, a little bit focus on this also. uh, what else? So, if anybody interested in, starting something with the Meta, then please get in touch with me, both engineers and non-engineers, and I'll connect you to people like Avi and Joshman, or anybody who is working on this particular domain. And I'm also, working on something on it, and I have hired two uh, engineers recently who are working with the Unreal Engine, and we're creating some, virtual environment. If you want to experience it, if you are in near to Bombay, then please let me know. Then we can, get your feedback, along with we can have a chance to interact. So these are the few things I can say.
Yeah,
And
Bibs and Joshman, I have one update. Please visit. There's a metaverse called uh, Party Night, and it is created by one of my friend Rajat Oja. He has created this beautiful platform which is around, and he is also offering some NFTs. Party Night is just recently launched on Christmas, so this is
oh,
something
lovely.
worth visit.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll surely, visit it. And is it
Yeah.
on iOS or is a web app?
Yeah, it's a desktop app only right now.
Okay, okay, all right. Yeah. Surely, we will try to, log in, and we'll see.
Yeah,
This is a kind of research also we'll have, that what exactly going on.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, lovely.
I think they are right now giving away the Lakshmi NFT and several others as well.
Oh, that guy from IIT, IIM, that guy, right? That little bit fatty guy,
Yeah,
right?
Rajat Oja with the beard,
Ah,
right?
another partner is there. No, what is his name? Rastugi or something? No,
Not aware about the other partner on this. The company name is Gametronics.
Game Chronics. Ah, maybe, because I heard about it in IIT Bombay only. We are having some discussion about it, and they said, okay, Lakshmi and Ganpati and all these Indian gods, they started, and they're making wonderful, NFTs with the raga music related to, suppose they created this particular Lakshmi NFT. It will be a 3D, NFT model. So then that is backed up by some ragas, which is assigned for Lakshmi Struta. So that particular raga would be, that sound will be coming. So it's something I heard about it. So yeah, definitely I'll check it out.
Yeah,
So I'm googling it. What's the website?
Party Night.
Party
PRTYNIGHT.
night.
I can't find it. I am able to find the LinkedIn profile of Rajat, but party night Google search पे नहीं आ रहा.
Partynight.io. Sorry.
Party night dot io.
Let me just message to both of you. I'm actually on Club Deck, so not really being able to message you. Just send me hi, both of you, Bibs and
Yeah, I am able to. Site is not secure. Oh no, I'm not able to. Partynight.io, right? It is not
yeah.
there.
Let me add the link here only.
Okay, HTTPS maybe. No.
No, it is HTTPS. Let me add it here on. Pin it here.
Okay, maybe it is blocked from here. Oh, NITE. Okay, okay. I did
Yeah,
NIGST.
NITE.
Oh, lovely. They have
I'm
in Google
seeing
Play.
this guy is in SFO, right?
Yeah, he is one of the industry pioneers. He is a really brilliant guy. He has worked on Resident Evil VR version of Resident Evil, and I've did a podcast uploaded with a podcast with him, and he is really a really great support.
Yeah, on his Twitter profile, he says, sorry, LinkedIn, he says, Chief Builder at partynight.io, India का अपना metaverse.
Yes,
Marketing.
yes,
Okay.
Rajat Oza, is it?
Rajat
yeah,
Ojha,
that's correct. Yeah,
OJH, Illegal Savage, Gametronics. Okay.
if they are interested to upgrade to metaverse.in, then maybe I can reach out to them. Why India's very own metaverse is running on .io?
So it should run on metaverse.in.
No, I'm just saying that when you are claiming that India's very own metaverse, right? So
Yeah.
.in is the Indian CCTLD.
Yes. .in should be there, right?
Metaverse.in, yeah. I own that.
Maybe his future plans are to make it world's metaverse.
Of course, it's going to be worldwide only, and in fact, he has started marketing outside.
Okay.
Yeah, Indian market is not mature. I think a lot of NRIs and all these people who are working, especially the engineers who are working in US or Europe and other places, they are the biggest investors to these platforms. I think not started in the mainstream Indians like.
Yeah, because
correct.
People are not that not I won't say educated, but they're not aware about all these concepts right now. Like we talk here on Clubhouse, but
right. One person
like
become
if I
rich.
try to
One
Sorry?
person become rich with this particular thing, then everybody will start follow. And everybody means everybody, every person. In India, the
Yeah.
trend setting is very, very, very important.
Yeah, so after Mukesh Ambani talked about it, so many people approached me that you used to tell us he's saying same thing. Now tell me what it is going on. And I was like, "Acha, Mukesh Ambani ne bola, then you are." So yeah, that's what is happening.
Happens to me
If
as
I
well.
try to
मैं कब से
explain,
बोल रहा हूँ कोई नहीं सुनता है.
I try to explain my mother-in-law that I bought 2 apartments in Metaverse. So her response was, "I hope you were not fooled by someone." So
yeah.
yeah.
Abhi, I was the only person who's supporting you. Yeah, come on.
That is correct. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like I have to then give them example, see what's happening, $2.8 million land sale and stuff like that. And when they see, right, others are earning, others are selling, others are making money, then they will believe in you. But they will not believe in you if you try to explain them this is a technology, what it is doing. They'll say, oh, who is going to live there? Yeah, duniya to dekhi nahi, wahan kya karenge, right? Like there's so much going on.
Okay, guys. Now I have to sort of leave. If you want to continue, Joshman has the moderation, so the room will continue.
Yeah, I also have to leave here.
Okay, guys.
So
Then
I think Rajiv is in this right audience. So you guys can also connect. He's also working on some NFT and metaverse project from US, I believe.
yeah,
So maybe.
let me send him the follow, and then yeah, I'm already following him.
Okay.
Already following him.
Go ahead. Bibs, you can also connect with him because you were looking for some connections.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Is it morning over there or it's the middle of the night?
Yeah, it's morning.
Right. Good morning.
Morning.
So what exactly you're working on?
I run a clothing brand. We are the first company to make official ISRO merchandise. We work very closely with ISRO. We are trying to explore our opportunities to create VR experience for ISRO at the moment. Couple of engineers are onboarded. No, they are scientists actually. A couple of scientists are onboarded for this project officially. And along with that, we recently got permission for digital collectibles of ISRO. What we are doing is we are dropping, I think, collection of 3,005